This is HBU Huskies men's basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network. Huskies basketball is brought to you by these corporate partners of HBU Athletics: Houston Federal Credit Union, Marriott Houston West Chase, the Memorial Hermann Healthcare System, Raising Cane's, Under Armour, Firehouse Subs, Pepsi, Shipley Donuts, 4 Points by Sheraton, IBEW Local 716, Jimmy John's, Kolache Factory, and Holiday Inn Express. The DNA Husky Sports Network is your home all season long for HBU Huskies men's basketball. And right now it's just about game time, so let's head out to the arena. And good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Sharp Tank on the campus of Houston Baptist University in Southwest Houston. Sharp Gymnasium, the home of your HBU Huskies, and the side of our game tonight between Huskies and the UTSA Roadrunners. And I'm Lonnie King, joined by Neil Raphael. We're just about set to bring you all the play-by-play of this one tonight. But this is going to be an interesting game, Neil, because it's a sort of a building block game for the Huskies. They come up with a big road win against an ACC opponent, draw a lot of attention to the program, and raise some eyebrows. And the important thing in Coach Cockrell's mind tonight is that they take that, use it to build on. The win there in Winston-Salem won't mean a lot if they don't win here tonight.
I agree. They need to back this up with a home win. They're in the friendly confines of the Sharp Tank, and they play pretty well here, especially on the defensive end, and probably out for a little revenge from the 87-71 decision in San Antonio last year.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys from that UTSA team are back. We'll talk with assistant coach Judd Kinney about that, but they've had kind of a year to grow, don't have many new faces, and their leading scorers are very young and starting to get healthy. So they're out to a 1-5 start, but it's probably not the team that we're going to see tonight, and they'll see the rest of the year.
I don't think so either. They played a tough preseason or pre-conference schedule just like HBU has. They played some of the big boys out of Oklahoma, so they're ripe for a victory as well today, and I expect this to be a great basketball game. They're looking for a victory. They're coming out looking for a great start, and HBU, always plays well at home, and like you said, they're going to have to come out and focus early tonight in order to get a victory here.
As a former coach, how tough is it to get a team to focus and forget a big, important win in a program's history and focus on the task at hand?
I think it is difficult, but the fact that it should build confidence more than anything else, and then playing in front of a home crowd should fire them up and calm them down. I think it's easier to come back home after a big win than play on the road again, because that makes it tougher with a crowd. But I think they're going to be fine tonight. I think the key here is to get off to a great start, especially on the defensive end.
All right, we'll check in with Judd Kinney to check on the UTSA Roadrunners, then we'll visit with the head coach, Ron Cockrell. That'll lead us right up to the opening lineups and the opening tip. And it's straight ahead on the Husky Sports Network. Join forces to put the howl back in your finances. HFCU offers several products and services such as auto loans, mortgages, and credit cards. And HFCU has a financial education program, Elevate, which is tailored to helping you increase your financial knowledge. Stop by any of our convenient locations or visit our website, www.houstonfcu.org, and experience the credit union difference today. Dogs up.
Your heart sounds good, Daddy.
Regular checkups are good for many things.
No tumors. Uh-oh. Your colon sounds funny.
But they can't detect everything. At the Memorial Hermann Wellness Institute, get a full body scan, heart scan, or virtual colonoscopy to help you find problems early enough to do something about them.
I'm glad you're okay, Daddy.
Schedule your scan today. Call 713-222-CARE. Memorial Hermann, for your whole life.
Back on the Huskies pregame report, it's time to focus our eye on the opponent tonight, the UTSA Roadrunners, and we do that with assistant coach Judd Kinney. As we get ready for a team, Judd, that is they've struggled out of the gate, but likely because they haven't had a full complement of players to work with so far.
Yeah, I mean, similar to us, they've played a really, really tough schedule, with Oklahoma at home and at Oklahoma State. They went to a great tournament down in Florida with Irvine, South Dakota State, and Gulf Coast. So they've come out of the gates with a brutal schedule, and trying to do it shorthanded, has been difficult for them. But they've gotten that guy back, and now that he's kind of working himself back into the mix, they looked like a very different team those last few games. And they had some time off since they've last played before we play them tonight. And I think they'll come in, energized and refreshed and ready to go after a little bit of a break. And coming off of a win, it's always, a little bit easier.
And they've got a lot of the guys that we saw in last year's game over there back on the roster this year, and very few new faces for this team.
Yeah, and I think that's going to help them as they move forward, especially with everybody back and healthy now. The continuity of their team and the number of minutes and guys back and the experience that they have is going to really pay off for them. Hopefully not tonight, but starting with their next game, and then down the road. They finished the year well in their conference. They were really tough to beat in their conference, and I think they're going to continue that. Hopefully starting against Texas State in their next game.
Javon Jackson is a guy who was the CUSA Freshman of the Year last year, tore his ACL toward the end of the season, recovering a little bit early this year. Now he's back in the lineup. Keaton Wallace had a good game against us last year, and he fills it up as well. Are those the two guys that scare you the most?
Those are two of the guys. Yeah, I was trying to talk to their coaches before the game and convince them to rest Javon Jackson, get him ready for the Texas State game, but they didn't listen. Those are two guys that can absolutely light it up, capable of creating for themselves, but also what they do for their teammates. And having Javon back, I think, has opened things up for other guys because he's another scoring threat on the floor. And Keaton has unlimited range, distance. He can get himself going at any time. But they also have Nick Allen, who's a really experienced guy, back. They've added a junior college transfer. They got Adrian Rodriguez back. And he's a physical presence, plays really hard. They, Giovanni DeNicolau, who can really light it up as well and plays hard, glue guy. I mean, they've got so many different pieces. They don't have that one guy you can say, all right, we got to stop this guy and we can win the game. They got 4 or 5 guys who can get them 20 on a given night, and that makes them a really dangerous team.
So what is the key tonight? They like to put up a lot of points, and you guys saw Wake Forest on Friday and did the job against them. It wasn't so much continual defense in that game. You look at 91 points that we allowed, and you say, well, where was the defense there? But there were some key defensive stops in that game.
Yeah, we had that stretch at the end of regulation going to overtime where I think it was about 9 minutes. We held them without a field goal, which scares me. We still gave up 91. But our defense really, really stepped up and did a great job. We're going to have more of those for longer stretches. We can't give ourselves the holes that we had being down 14 after a little 9-0 run that they won and have to fight back. We need to do a better job defensively from the tip, and I think if we can carry over the way we defended at the end of that game and start games that way and can put it together more consistently, we'll be in a lot better position.
Great. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck this evening.
Thank you.
Judd Kinney, assistant coach for the Huskies. We'll take a timeout and come back with our game day chat with the head coach, Ron Cockrell, after this on the Husky Sports Network.
Run with UA Map My Run. With your UA connected footwear, you can leave your phone behind. However, if you choose to run with it, the UA Map My Run app will give map views of your route and a deeper look at your workout with additional stats.
We are Under Armour. The future is ours!
Under Armour.
I'm Robin. And I'm Chris. We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs. Back when we were firemen, when it came to food, we said it better be something good and a lot of it. That's what you get at Firehouse Subs. Take our hook and ladder sub. Smoked turkey breast, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese, all steam heated and piled high on a toasted sub roll. Our way beats their way. If you don't agree, it's free. You're going to cover that, right? My money's on the sub. Love the confidence.
Firehouse Sub, founded by firemen.
Building Houston to compete on the world stage
is what we do at the IBEW. It's important to us that Houston knows why we do what we do, not just what we do. Sure, we're the best electricians. We train 10,000 hours to be the best. But we get up early so Houston is built to compete. To be the best, hire the best. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor just isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
Back on the Huskies pregame report, just about set for the opening tip of our game with the UTSA Roadrunners here at Sharp Gym tonight. But it's time to do our game day chat with the head coach, Ron Cockrell, as we get ready for the Roadrunners tonight. And, Coach, a little bit of a respite from the road here this evening. Short turnaround from the Friday game, but I would imagine you've got a lot of positive energy flowing from that game into this one tonight.
Well, certainly we've carried some momentum into the last couple of days of workouts, and you know, obviously there's been a lot of people reach out and a lot of excitement surrounding the win, and it's been you know, nothing but positive. I mean, it's been a tremendous last couple of days, but at the same time we've had to try to kind of reel the guys in and make sure they understand we still got a game tonight to get ready for, and they've done a pretty good job of that, kind of putting it aside and realizing that we've got a really tough opponent in front of us tonight.
I know you mentioned after the game on Friday that you had already talked to the team and told them, hey, we got to move on to the next one. Was there much of a challenge in getting them to do that, to focus in the practices the last couple of days?
Well, you know, after the game, we got back to the hotel, and there was, you know, just all kinds of things going on with social media and phone calls and texts and all that kind of stuff. And then we had a really, really early flight, as you know. And so most of the guys didn't get hardly any sleep at all on Friday night. And then we got on the plane and came home, and then we went straight to practice when we got back on campus. And literally, we were, you know, by 9 o'clock the next morning, we're on the practice floor going over UTSA, and that kind of has a way of focusing the guys in and getting their minds on what is ahead and not what's behind. And so, you know, I'm sure when we're not here, there's still things going on that I don't know about with them, you know, still thinking about it. But we've, I think, done a pretty good job of keeping them focused in on tonight's game.
Tonight's game is against the UTSA Roadrunners. They're off to a struggling start this year, but they haven't had Javon Jackson for a few of those games. Have we seen the team that they're going to be this year?
I don't think so. I think you remember the team that was there last year and what they did. They had a terrific run in their conference last year and really had a terrific year for Steve, his first season there. And they got most of those guys back. I mean, this is a really, you know, core group of guys that did that last year. And so I don't think they have quite clicked the way they will. They haven't played hardly any home games yet. I think they played one or two home games, and so they've been road warriors a little bit like us, and so they're still a work in progress. But I certainly don't want them to make, you know, huge strides tonight in Sharp Gym. But it's going to be a real challenge. This team is, as we talked to the guys about, I mean, they are a potent offensive team. They can score from every position on the floor, and it's going to be a challenge.
Who concerns you most? I know Keaton Wallace had 24 against us last year, and he's leading them in scoring now. But Jackson is a guy that they look to be their leading scorer this year.
Yeah, those are the two guys that you have to really kind of key on to start. Wallace and Jackson are going to put up a lot of shots. I mean, they average 15 to 17 shots a game per person there, and so that's a lot of their offense. But then you can't disregard Nick Allen, who's really good perimeter shooter and really does a great job of spotting up, and then Fronen is kind of their all around guy. He's the guy who kind of is the glue guy. He rebounds really hard. He can get to the rim. He can do a lot of different things for him. The point guard is a really good point guard. Understands how to get the guys the ball, and so it's a really tough team to guard. But it starts with Wallace and Jackson, and it goes from there.
Well, you mentioned the other day that it's the game after the game that's very important, and you want to build on what you accomplished in North Carolina the other day. What what have you seen from the team, and what have you talked to them about as far as building on that win?
Well, we talked about keeping the competitiveness that we had to play with to win that game in the back of their mind and drawing on that when we get in tough situations later in the season. Remember how hard we had to play, how focused we had to be able to pull off that game and use that to their advantage. Don't think about the past, but use the past to try to help propel us into the future into being a better ball club. We don't want to be a one-shot wonder. We don't want to be a one-game deal. We want to use that game to be the stepping stone to some really great things this season. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be some tough nights, and tonight's going to be one of those. But we've got to come out and show the competitive spirit that we showed the other night.
Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Ron Cockrell, the head coach of the Huskies. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, it'll be time for starting lineups, then all the play-by-play on the Husky Sports Network.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known. And if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man, and the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
Box combo with the lemonade, please.
At Raising Cane's, we do one thing, and we do it better than anyone else. So why not let our food do the talking? Hand cut our lemons daily. They're fresh squeezed and mixed with 100% natural cane sugar. Love in the window. Raising Cane's, only the best chicken finger meals. One love.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
Anyone can get you ready. Holiday Inn Express gets you the readiest. Because ready gives a pep talk. Showtime. But the readiest gives a pep rally.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios. And welcome back in to Sharp Gym on the campus of Houston Baptist University. Lonnie King, Neil Raphael along with you this evening, and we are just about set for tonight's opening tip. But it is time for us to introduce the starting lineups to you. And first of all, for the visitors from the University of Texas at San Antonio, under Steve Henson, the head coach in his third season, off to a 1-5 start this year. They'll send out this starting five. A 6'6 junior, 230 pounds from Las Vegas, Nevada. Byron Fronin gets the start. He's their leading rebounder. He'll be joined by Giovanni De Nicolau, a 6'3 junior from Padua, Italy. And they will be joined by the leading scorer, Keaton Wallace, 6'3 sophomore from Dallas and Richardson High School, averaging 17 points a game out of the gate this year. Aitem Bior, a 6'7 junior from Brisbane, Australia, is averaging 5.8 rebounds and 6.2 points per game. And rounding out the starting five, a senior, 6'8", 235-pound forward from Surprise, Arizona, Nick Allen. So the starting five for Coach Steve Henson, again, Fronin, De Nicolau, Wallace, Bior, and Allen. For your HBU Huskies, the starting five that we've seen through the first 4 games this year and now into number 5 will be Ian DeBose, a 6'4 sophomore from Durham, North Carolina. Philip McKenzie joins him, 6'5 sophomore from Nassau, the Bahamas. They will be joined in the middle by Edward Hart, the 6'10 senior from Phoenix and Deer Valley High School. In the backcourt, Oliver Lynch Daniels, a 6'2 sophomore from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and Braxton Bonds, the point guard, a 6'2 redshirt senior from Nashville, rounds out the starting five. So we are just about set to go. The Huskies in the home white uniforms tonight with the blue numerals, blue lettering, and orange trim. By the way, Wake Forest had a blackout promotion in their game on Friday, so they wore their black. The Huskies wore the home white uniforms on the road last weekend. Let's see if those are good luck again here tonight for them. UTSA will be in the road uniforms, the navy blue uniforms with white lettering and numerals and orange trim. Similar color schemes for these two schools, but the Huskies with a more royal blue shade than UTSA, who goes with the navy shade. And we're just about set to go. Allen in the middle with Hart, and they're going to jump it up. Darren George, the official, tosses it up, and it's going to be controlled by UTSA. And they'll move right to left as you listen in and look on here in the first half. Allen's going to take it down, leaves it off for Fronin. Fronin tries to go cross court. Tipped off the fingertips of a Tim Bior, but saved. Out top, it's Wallace. Dribbles to the middle, swinging around the arc. A lot of ball moving here, down to 3 on the shot clock. Fronin's got to drive in. He'll float it up with the right hand, gets it to go.
A very active Husky zone defense that time.
2-0 just underway, 19-19 to go here in the first half. Ian DeBose feeds it down low to Ed Hart. He can't get it to go, but he is fouled. Bior's going to pick up the personal, and Ed will go to the line to shoot a pair here. Well, we've seen Ed go strong to the hole early this season, and there was one example of it right there.
Nice to see Ed get an early touch. Ed's having a great year, averaging 10 points on the season.
Stands at the free throw line. That is one place the Huskies want to increase productivity this season. And Ed makes the first one there. Ed has actually been a little bit better free throw shooter the last couple of games. Misses the second one there, 1 out of 2. And that's right about his season average. Averages 52% from the line. DeNicolau, the Italian, back up the floor, and he's going to be called for a travel as he tried to send it past Bonds, a little shuffle step before he could get the bounce pass off, and turns it over to the Huskies. One of the good things HBU did the other day against Wake Forest was force 22 turnovers by the Demon Deacons. Here's a long three put up by DeBose with the quick trigger, won't go. And Bior with the rebound, up ahead Fronin underneath, reverses it up and off the glass for 2. Byron Fronin with his second bucket of the ball game. Bonds leaves it off for McKenzie. His shot won't go. Huskies a little bit cold from the floor early on here. Back the other way. Nick Allen's going to pull up and pop, and Coach Cockrell, with just a minute and a half gone here in the first half, is going to call a timeout, and he does not look pleased with the start of this game.
No, he doesn't. A couple of quick shots offensively for the Huskies, really out of transition, and UTSA pushing the ball. HBU not able to get back and pick up their guys in transition, so Coach Cockrell not very happy and try to get their attention quickly here.
Well, he did mention to us before the game that if it was necessary, he wouldn't hesitate to stop the action early to make sure his team was focused in on this one. And we'll see if that timeout served its purpose. Huskies inbound the ball, down by 5, 6-1, 18-28 to go in the first half. Braxton Bonds will leave it right side for Ian DeBose. Backside to Bonds out at the three-point line. They kind of drop off of him, and he tries to lob it over to Nicolau, but it's stolen away. Long up-court pass to Fronin on the run, and he's got an easy layup for 2.
Yeah, the Huskies have to pick up the ball defensively earlier.
Bonds is going to float through the lane and put up a little rainbow, and it drops down through. And there's the first field goal of the game for HBU. Under 18 to go here in the first half. DeNicolau again likes to go left. Takes it there. Down to Bior in the low block. Shot won't go. The rebound is tipped around, and Bonds is going to run it down. Huskies off on the run. 3-on-3. Lynch Daniels is going to put it up, and he's going to be fouled underneath. I think they'll get Nick Allen for the personal, and it should send Ollie to the free throw line.
Yeah, Braxton did a great job in transition. 1-on-3, gave the ball up to Daniels. Daniels attacked the middle of the paint. He gets to the line for 2 early free throws.
Oliver at the line, averaging 7.3 points per game. He is an 83% free throw shooter. But misses on the first one. One more to come here. Ollie's second free throw is good. 1 of 2. And the Huskies cut the lead in half, 8-4. As UTSA back up the floor. DeNicolau tried to shoot a bounce pass past Bonds, and he got his knee on it, knocks it out of bounds. It'll be Roadrunner basketball.
Huskies now in man-to-man defense.
DeNicolau again out of the backcourt into the forecourt. Screen from Allen, takes it to the right angle. Looking for assistance. He's going to drive in. Kick it over to Fronin. Left side of the paint. Right side, he goes on the baseline to Bior, and he will put up a little floater with the left hand. Just moved smoothly through the lane and came up with a nice, easy look.
Yeah, too easy. Ed's got to put a body on him when he gets that deep in the paint.
Here's Braxton Bonds. Airballs a 3, but it's rebounded underneath by Lynch Daniels to Phil McKenzie, and McKenzie puts it in with the layup. 16:50 to go, 10-6 UTSA. Bior off to Fronin. Fronin dribbles to the middle, tries to penetrate, kicks it back out on the wing to Allen. He'll pull up inside the arc, puts up a jumper, airballs it, and Bior saves it underneath, gets it back to Allen. Shot won't go. Fronin with the third look, and a lot of offensive boards there for the Roadrunners, and they put it up and in.
HBU did a nice job getting their arms extended, but they really not putting a body on anybody.
Bonds out top to DeBose. Into the corner to Philip McKenzie. McKenzie back to Bonds. He's going to penetrate into the paint. Floats it up. Misses everything out of bounds to UTSA.
Couldn't tell if that was a shot or if he was looking for someone down low on the offside.
12-6 is our score. We're going to roll under the 16-minute mark. Next stoppage will bring us to the first media timeout of the ball game. But DeNicolau into the corner finds Keaton Wallace, and he has 17 per contest, and he gets a 3 there, his first points of the ball game here. And just like that, they're up by 9, 15-6. DeBose looking for help, left side screen from Ed. Gets it out top to McKenzie, in through the paint, and we're going to get an offensive foul as McKenzie knocked Bior down to the ground, and it stops the clock with 15:33 to go. Timeout on the floor. Huskies in the hole early here. 15-6, UTSA with the lead. Take a break and come back on the Husky Sports Network.
What's on your mind, kid? Make it fast. I'd like to work here at Jimmy John's World's Greatest Gourmet Sandwich Shop, sir. Why do you want to work at Jimmy John's, kid? I'm perfect for Jimmy John's. Doing what? Delivery. Delivery? Delivery. We deliver pretty fast here at Jimmy John's. That's what I heard. What'd you hear? You deliver pretty fast here at Jimmy John's. Then you heard right. I'm a fast study, sir. You know the Jim John's slogan? The Jimmy John's slogan? Jim John's slogan is sub so fast so freak. Sub so fast so freak is a swell slogan, sir. When people call for a Jimmy John's sandwich, they want it fast. Then I'm your man, sir. How so? Because I'm fast. Fast at what? Fast at everything. Can you deliver fast? I can deliver fast. How fast? I can run a 4:40 until 20 minutes. No seconds. That's fast. You delivered before? I delivered newspapers before. Were you fast? Very fast. How fast? People got tomorrow's paper today. That's fast. So do I have the job? Not so fast. How do I know you're not just some fast talker? I can get your references. When? Now. These are good references. Thank you. But at Jimmy John's, you gotta be more than fast. More than fast. You gotta be polite. Fast and polite. Fast and polite. I can do fast and polite. Okay, give me some time to think it over. Okay. Okay, I thought it over. When can you start? Now. Now it's good. What's your name, kid? Stefan Papadopoulos. Too long. How about Ed? That's fine. Welcome aboard, Ed.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
Hi, I'm Ron Cockrell. Thanks for listening to HBU Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Back here at Sharp Gym, Lonnie King and Neil Raphael with you. The Huskies down by 9 early in this one as we come to the first break in the action here. The Huskies have seen UTSA get out to a 70% shooting percentage from the floor early in this one. 1 for 1 from the three-point line, while the Huskies are just 2 of 6 from the floor. Jackson Stent has checked in. He's going to pick up Fronin down in the paint. Fronin turn around, can't get it to go, and the rebound pulled down by Ollie Lynch-Daniels. He's going to go coast to coast. Shot won't go. The rebound tip. Stent comes up with it, can't get it to go. Followed by DeBose. Count it, and he's fouled.
That's the first time they've had multiple opportunities on the offensive glass. Great job, HBU.
So Ian DeBose will go to the free throw line. Huskies leading scorer at 15.8 per contest, and just a 50% free throw shooter early in the season, but gets the +1 there and cuts the lead down to 6. 15-9, 15:08 to go in the first half. The Nicolau picked up by Stephen Osuji, who checked in during the last timeout. Gets it to Javon Jackson, who's also checked in for UTSA. Underneath, he finds Fronin on the baseline and sets him up for an easy layup for 2. Suge will bring it back up the floor, dishes it out on the wing in the corner to Lynch-Daniels, and he has it picked by Jackson. Jackson on the run, 2-on-2. He's going to throw it up, and it won't go, but Ian is going to pick up the personal.
Yeah, the Huskies having a little trouble getting back defensively, Lonnie. Getting the ball stopped in transition thus far.
Jackson will go to the free throw line here. Gets the first one to go. One more to come. Ben Yoloko is going to check in for the Huskies. Edward Hart will check out. Jackson with one more free throw to come, and it rolls around the iron and drops down through. They've got a 10-point lead now, biggest of the ball game, 19-9. DeBose into the forecourt, leave it left side for Osuji. Drives in, dishes back out on the wing to Lynch-Daniels. He'll penetrate, pull up, pop from 15, won't go. Yoloko with the board and the follow off the window for 2.
Great balance.
Ben did that effectively the other night.
Yeah, he really did a good job there, keeping his focus and putting it off the glass.
Here's a runner in the paint, put up by UTSA. Shot won't go, but we've got a whistle on the follow. And one of the Roadrunners hits the deck. That's Adokie Iea. And he will go to the free throw line. So the Huskies are drawing some early foul calls here. Third team foul on HBU. Actually, I believe that's their 4th. We'll double check that. But the first free throw from IEA is no good. One more to come. That, by the way, was his first free throw miss of the season. The second one won't stay down either, and so the Huskies get a break there. DeBose on the run, feeds it to Yoloko, lay it up and in. Back to within 6, 19-13. Allen off to Wallace, penetration, kick it around the arc, swing it out to Jackson, a 3, rattles, won't go. And Allen with the follow after the miss by Wallace. And he's going to be fouled, and there's another one on Ian DeBose, his second, with 13:46 to go.
Yeah, Lonnie, and they're all coming off second and third chance opportunities for the Huskies.
Now, Allen misses his first free throw. That's 3 in a row they've missed. Bonds is going to check back in. DeBose, with his 2 fouls, will go to the bench. And you have to think that with those 2 fouls, we may not see much more of Ian here in the first half. Second free throw is good. 1 out of 2 at the line for Nick Allen. Well, 7-point lead.
In that fact, Yoloko's off to a good start with back-to-back baskets.
Jalen Gates is checked in. He runs the baseline as Bonds goes to the right angle. Feed it down low into Yoloko, and he puts it up and in over Allen. Ben's got another bucket, and he's got 6 now. leading scorer for the Huskies. Here's a tip and a strip by Osuji. He'll bring it back up into the paint, floats it up, won't go, followed by Jalen Gates. Won't go, and Allen hits the deck, but he's got his backside on the baseline, and that'll give the ball back to the Huskies. A break there. Huskies trying to force the action here. Press the ball up the floor. Just haven't had the shots falling early on. Osuji on the baseline. Gets it way out top to Bonds. He'll go back to Osuji, left side at the arc. And coming out to try and cut him off is Aie, and he will foul him with the knee.
Yeah, the fact that HBU has not shot the ball well, and they're only down 5 points, I think speaks well.
Osuji will inbound it. Free throw line extended and gets it into Uloko. Back to Osuji. Nicolau is going to check back in at the next stoppage for UTSA. Osuji to the middle. Leaves it right side for Bonds. Bonds back to Osuji. A three from the angle. Won't go. The rebound, Jackson Stent pulls it in. Loses it on the floor, and it's saved in the corner by Wallace for UTSA. Jackson with the rebound but couldn't hang on. Iaye to the rack, won't go, but he's going to be fouled, and that's going to be on Osuji, I believe.
Yeah.
Stephen Osuji picks up his first. Called by Ross Cullens Jr. Darren George, our lead official tonight. Ross Cullens Jr. and Jeff Malum join him. Iaye with the bucket. One more free throw to come. It's a 6-point game again. Edward Hart will check back in. Uloko will get a breather. Ben had some productive minutes on the floor. 21-15, 12:37 to go. Second free throw is short. And missed free throws are kind of keeping the Huskies close here early on. Bonds up the floor, gets it off to Jalen Gates, and he's got the trigger and uses it for good, and that's his first point of the ball game, a two, and it's 21-17.
Always nice to see Jalen heat up.
Led in scoring against Wake Forest with 20 points off the bench the other night. Here's a shot put up by DeNicolau, won't go, but long rebound comes out to Bior. He'll save it to Allen, cross court to Jackson. He puts up a wild three, won't go. Bior with the follow though, and the Huskies didn't box out that time, and it pays off in a bucket for the Roadrunners. 23-17. Osuji drives in. He'll be fouled.
And second chance and third chance opportunities have hurt the Huskies thus far.
Clock stops with 11:51 to go here in the first half of play. We've got a timeout on the floor. The Huskies trail by 6, 23-17 on the Huskies Sports Network.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my group. So.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast and a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by B&A Studios.
11:51 to go. The Huskies trail by 6, 23-17. HBU still struggling a bit, although they picked up the pace from the floor, 46%, 7 of 15. UTSA has cooled off to 50%, 9 of 18. And Stephen Osuji is at the free throw line out of the timeout, and he gets the first one to go. Osuji is a guy that has become a contributor to this squad. He was a walk-on as a freshman, and this now is his senior year. And he gets both free throws to go. 23-19, a 4-point differential. UTSA walks it up across the midcourt stripe. DeNicolau goes right side to Fronin and the corner to Allen. He almost threw it away and knocked out of bounds by the Huskies. 19 on the shot clock as they'll inbound it right in front of Coach Cockrell on the bench over there. DeNicolau to Allen, out top Fronin, swinging around Jackson, down to Bior. They kick it in the corner, right side to Allen, and he's left alone for a three, and he drains it.
Yes, slow rotation on the backside of the Huskies.
6 now for Allen. 11:20 to go, and it's back up to a 7-point lead. Hart dribbles in, leaves it backside for Bonds. Out to Gates, feed it in the blocks now to Hart. He will drive in, puts it up, and it won't stay down. Rolled around the iron, but wouldn't go down. Rebound by UTSA. Jackson on the run, baseline left, and he's going to lay it up and in with the right hand, and it's back up to 9. Huskies had cut it down to 4, but now UTSA 5 in a row with 10:48 to go. Bonds to the middle, left to right across the top of the arc. Leave it left side for Osuji. DeNicolau gives him some room to operate out there. Now pulls up on him. Osuji leave it down low for Bonds. He floats it up, won't go, off the window. Maybe rushed that shot a little bit. Loose ball on the rebound, and Jalen Gates is trying to save it. And let's see what the call is going to be. It's going to be HBU basketball. Mass substitutions for the Huskies. Ollie Lynch-Daniels, Philip McKenzie, Ben Yoloko check back in. So Hart, Stent, and Osuji will check out.
It's nice to have the luxury of going deep in the bench this early in the season. I know Coach is trying to find his rotation and see what fits well, but it's nice to have some depth.
Ross Cullens wants Bonds to go down to the corner to inbound the basketball, so he will. And Bonds looks for help, finds Yoloko and gets it into him. Back to Bonds, leave it for McKenzie, left side, out top to Jay Gase. That's not outside his range, folks. He'll put it up from there, but he drives instead, puts it off the window and off the iron, won't go. Fronin with the board for the Roadrunners. On the move, he'll stop, top of the arc, dribble down, left side, cut off, and floats it up anyway. Gets the friendly roll off the iron, and now it's an 11-point advantage. McKenzie to Bonds. Lynch-Daniels out top. Feed it down to Yoloko down low. A turnaround. Ben's got 8. Nice little move underneath by Yoloko.
Yeah, one thing Coach is not going to be happy about is the easy scoring in the paint for UTSA thus far, Lonnie. Just coming too easy.
DeNicolau leaves it for Fronin on the baseline to Bior. He walked, no call, and we've got a whistle underneath. And they're going to get Oliver Lynch-Daniels for a foul. Well, I thought Bior took an extra step on his way to the hole there.
I agree.
But Lynch-Daniels reached in as he got there and will send Atem Bior to the free throw line. Nice arching rainbow on the free throw, and it drops down through. Substitution for UTSA, Mitar Stanojevic. 10-point lead as Bior gets the basketball for the second free throw, and this one's going to be short. And it stays at 10. 9.5 minutes to go till halftime. Bonds to Lynch-Daniels, right side beyond the arc. Kick it out top to McKenzie. Left side to Braxton, back to Ollie, top of the arc. Now they lob it down in low to Yoloko, back to the basket. Swing it out top, Jalen Gates for 3 from the top of the arc. You got it. That's 5 for Jay, and you like to see him hot early in this one. Wallace leaves it for Fronin. Fronin will back out, and now he tries to take Lynch-Daniels down, and there's a walk. Fronin trying to release it, kind of stumbled and slid the pivot foot, so the Huskies will get the benefit.
Yeah, great job defensively by Lynch Daniels that time, not allowing the penetration and force a turnover.
Bonds up the floor, leaves it for Ollie. Cross court in the corner to McKenzie. Left baseline, he's going to put up a three. Off the iron, won't go. Rebound off to Wallace, and UTSA is on the run. He's going to pull up, pop from the left angle. Too strong off the back iron, but the rebound is tipped all the way back out, and the Roadrunners control.
I think that's kind of the defensive idea for UTSA, kind of sag in on the Huskies. They're going to have to hit some of those open shots.
To Nicolau, down to Fronin. Right baseline, wants to penetrate. Cut off by McKenzie. Back to the middle, leaves it for Bior. He'll lower the shoulder, tries to go around Uloko. And we've got a travel called on Atem Dior.
Yeah, Uloko doing a great job on both ends of the floor.
8:06 to go. Jackson Stent's going to check back in. McKenzie will get a breather. Pace of this game has been pretty good up and down the floor early on here, and I think that's why Coach Cockrell is going with the short turnaround times out there in these hockey-type line changes in this first half. Bonds, bounce pass in low to Uloko. Turn around, little shot from the right side with the right hand, and he's got it. Ben is in double digits now with 10 points.
And great fundamentals for Ben.
31-26, 7:36 to go till halftime. Bior backs down on Uloko, puts it up, rolls around the iron, won't stay down. Jay Gates with the rebound, up ahead. Ollie Lynch Daniels for three, won't go, and two blue jerseys there to grab the board.
Yeah, that shot might have been a little bit early. No defensive rebounding or offensive boards that time for the Huskies.
Almost lost by Bior, but saved by Wallace right in front of the Huskies bench. Wallace will back it out near the midcourt stripe, and Ollie goes with him. Wallace penetrates into the paint, and Uloko, they say, had it bounce off his body. We may get a review of this one. Darren George and Jeff Malum are talking things over. But there's a timeout on the floor. 6:59 to go here in the first half of play. The Huskies back to within 5. We'll take a timeout and come back with more on the Husky Sports Network.
You can always count on Houston Federal Credit Union to be there for you, because once a member, always a member. Take advantage of all their products and services to help you in all your financial milestones, such as purchasing your first car, planning your dream wedding, buying a home, and planning for retirement. Stop by any of their convenient locations or visit their website, www.houstonfcu.org, and experience the credit union difference today. Dogs up.
I am strong. I won't give up. I put my heart into the game.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus. Determination. Confidence.
I trust my gut.
No limits. Preparation.
Dedication.
Leadership. I want to make my team and family proud. And be an inspiration for other girls who like sports. Join the movement.
Under Armour.
Hi, this is Ron Cockrell, head coach of the HBU Huskies. Thanks for listening to Huskies basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Back here at Sharp Gym on a Monday night. The Huskies at home for this single game before they head back out on the road on Saturday to Ruston, Louisiana to take on the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Talk a little bit more about that later on, but right now they trail by 5. UTSA out of the timeout. Inbounds the basketball on their own baseline. Wallace gets the inbounds pass. He's going to put up a little floater from the right angle. Won't go, but the rebound pulled down by Stanajevic. He'll swing it back out. Another offensive rebound for UTSA. Stanajevic strong to the rack this time. It won't go. Stent with the board, hands it off to Oliver Lynch Daniels. Ollie stops way out top, leaving left side for Jay Gates. Looking for help, gets a screen from Uloko, drives in, has a lane, and he rolls it up and in, and he's fouled.
Great job by Jalen Gates. He had the first step, Lonnie. That first quick step got around the defender, allowed an easy lay-in, and he gets to the line for one.
We talked a lot about what Ben Uloco has done, shooting and defensively. That time he set a nice little screen that freed Gates up for that move. And Jay gets the free throw to go. He's got 8 now, and the Huskies are within 2. 31-29, 6:20 to go. De Nicolau drives in right side. He's going to try to reverse it up. A wild shot, and Uloco with the board for the Huskies. They can tie it up, this trip up the floor. And Lynch Daniels leaves it for Stent, and he will lay it up and in. Wallace went fly by.
Nice wraparound by Stent. Saw the defender, took a step and a dribble and scored. Great job.
And a timeout called by Steve Henson with 5:57 to go. The Huskies have clawed their way back from as much as an 11-point deficit, back with 10:03 to go. Just a little over 4 minutes ago of game time, the Huskies trailed 30-19 in this one, and since then they've outscored them 12-1 on this little run. And it's because I think we've seen the defensive effort pick up, and that has forced some wilder shots by UTSA, and the rebounds haven't been as plentiful.
But also the baskets have started to fall. HBU has been able to get in transition. They've been able to move the basketball a little better, and nice to see that ball go through the hoop.
UTSA with a rebounding edge still in this game, 19-12. We've got a 9-4 advantage on the offensive boards, 10-8 edge on the defensive boards.
Yeah, 5-0 run for the Huskies in the last minute.
5:57 as they inbound the basketball. The Roadrunners again moving right to left here in the first half. De Nicolau to Jackson, quick trigger for a 3, won't go. The rebound tipped, and Allen saves it to Bior. Bonds just barely mistimed his jump and couldn't come up with the rebound. Here's Jackson from the corner, won't go again. And the Huskies pull it down this time. Lynch Daniels on the run, going to put it up, won't go. Uloco gets it back. It's knocked out of bounds by Allen.
Yeah, Uloco with a great offensive board, but he has to understand there's a bigger body there. He's going to have to initiate a head or ball fake at that point.
Stephen Osuji's going to check in, and Edward Hart will pop up too. Bonds and Uloco will get a breather. 5:27 to go, all knotted up at 31 apiece here. Suge on the baseline, gets it into Hart. Swing it to Gates, around to Lynch Daniels, into the corner to Stent. Now they feed Hart in the low blocks. Tries to go in against the double team, saved by Stent as it was knocked away. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Feed it down low to Ed Hart with the give and go, and he lays it up and in. Bior hits the deck. Not sure if he hit the ground awkwardly or what. Didn't look like a lot of contact between he and Ed Hart.
No, I think he tried to get out of Ed's way at that point. And nice job by Ed Hart. That's something I think he didn't do as well last year as finish at the rim. And Ed's really doing a great job early in this season, is taking it hard to the rim and finishing.
By the way, that gives the Huskies their first lead of the ball game, 33-31. So now this scoring run continues. Bior is going to check out. And let's see who's checking in for him. It's Fronin back out on the floor. So with 5:09 to go, Huskies have the lead for the first time. And they'll draw back on defense as De Nicolau and Fronin bring it into the forecourt. Jay Gates stays with the point guard. He leaves it off for Jackson. Left to right, pull up from the angle, and this one he gets to go. Wild looking shot, but he got it to fall.
Yeah, way off balance.
4:48 left, tied up. Here's Jay Gates to the rack. Won't go, but we're going to get an offensive foul, I think they said. It is an offensive foul on Jalen Gates. Now, that was awful close to the semicircle under the basket.
I was looking at the same thing, could not tell.
Darren George didn't hesitate, though. He called the offensive foul against Jalen, and that is his first foul of the evening. 7th team foul on the Huskies. No free throws on an offensive foul, but UTSA will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Roadrunners have committed 6 team fouls here in the first half, so next foul from them puts the Huskies in the bonus. Jackson going to put up a 3. Off the mark, Stent with the rebound. Jackson just playing in his 4th game, recovering from an ACL from last year. Here's Stent with the 3. Got it! Jackson with the big-time bucket. And it's a 3-point lead for the Huskies. 5 now for Stent. Jackson for UTSA floats it up off the back iron again. Hart with the board up ahead to Gates. He's going to blow around the Nicolau, but he got a hand on it, knocks it down. And UTSA back in a hurry the other way. Leave it for Fronin, lays it up and in, and we got an offensive foul going to be called on Byron Fronin.
Yeah, nice job of Ed Hart stepping in and taking that hit.
Stops the clock, 3:52 to go here in the first half. Another break in the action and a timeout on the floor. Huskies now with a 3-point lead, and we'll take the timeout here on the Husky Sports Network.
I'm Robin. And I'm Chris. We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs. The last thing anyone needed was another sub shop. They needed a better one. We built Firehouse Subs on quality and quantity. And I'm the quality. Why am I quantity? Are you kidding? Try our hook and ladder sub. Smoked turkey breast, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese. Yeah, all served steaming hot on a toasted sub roll. Our way beats their way. If you don't agree, it's free. On him. It's on him.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
The body is incredibly powerful. It's so nimble and fluid, but sometimes we push it too far. That's when you need the strength of Memorial Hermann and our body of affiliated orthopedic specialists. With our renowned Ironman Sports Medicine Institute, they not only get your body back to where it was, they get it to go further. It's what makes us more than just hospitals. We are a body of experts. Memorial Hermann, advancing health.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
3:52 to go till halftime of our game here between your HBU Huskies and the UTSA Roadrunners. Interesting number I noticed, Neil, during the break there was the fact that the Huskies have gotten 25 points off the bench tonight. We thought maybe bench scoring would be a bigger strength for UTSA with Javon Jackson coming off their bench tonight, but the Huskies have really done a great job with their guys who have come in to spell the starters.
Yeah, they've really spread the wealth tonight. And another thing I noticed, it's just the opposite. They're shooting 75% from the field, UTSA only 50. So hopefully that's going to continue.
Ollie with the 3 won't get it to go, and the rebound controlled by the Roadrunners. 3:29 left till halftime. Wallace stops as he gets across the midcourt stripe. Feeds it to Bior, cutting through the paint, and he lays it up and in for 2.
That looked like an extra step.
Well, we've seen that a couple of times tonight without a whistle. Stent in the corner takes the feed from Lynch Daniels, and he drains the 3.
That's his second. One from the top, that one from the right wing. Nice rhythm by Stent.
That's part of that bench scoring they've gotten tonight. Here's Bior down in the low blocks. Hart picks him up. Backs in, tries to put it up short off the iron, and a loose ball and a foul. I think they're going to get Nick Allen or maybe Fronin.
Ed did a pretty good job. The one thing you don't want to do defensively is kind of crowd him, because he can go around you and make some athletic moves. So just sag on him a little bit. Wait for him to come to you. Ed's 6'10".
Yeah. Ollie Lynch Daniels going to get free throws out of that foul that was charged to Byron Fronin, his first personal. It's 18 fouls now on the Roadrunners, and Oliver Lynch Daniels at the free throw line rainbows it up and in. The Huskies' lead is now 5, 40-35. Sluggish start for HBU, down by as many as 11. We saw them get down by 14 the other day in the second half against Wake Forest, and they came back from that. So we know they've got it in them, and now they've got a 6-point lead. Ollie gets both free throws to go. Here is Wallace with the three, and he and Jackson do not hesitate to put it up, and he can usually find the range and gets it to go there. Cuts it back to a 3-point lead for HBU. Osuji pops out top, takes the feed from Lynch Daniels, gives it right back to him, left angle in the corner to McKenzie. Back to Ollie. He'll penetrate to the baseline, cut off there, looking for help. Double teamed, and it's tipped and stolen away. Wallace back the other way for the Roadrunners. Kick it to Allen, a three from the right angle, off the mark. Bior, though, gets the offensive board. Tries to take it up, knocked away, but saved by Iai. Back out to Wallace for a three. Rattles won't go, and Hart is going to be fouled on the rebound, and Nick Allen will pick it up. That's the second foul on Allen, and Ed's going to walk to the other end to get some free throws here.
Yeah, great job by Ed on the defensive glass. Got his elbows out strong and fought the defender off.
Adrian Rodriguez checks in for UTSA as Allen will sit down with his two fouls. We saw Ian DeBose pick up his second foul at about the 13.5-minute mark, and we thought then that we might not see him again, and I think that is going to hold true here with 1:55 to go. But the Huskies have managed to do fairly well without Ian out there, and that could bode well for the second half when he does get back out there.
Yeah, the Huskies have gone 9 deep. Lonnie, how deep have they been going this season thus far?
We usually see a 10-man rotation. The one guy we haven't seen yet this evening, we'll check it in just a minute, but those free throws good by HBU, or check it 1 out of 2. Here's Fronin down low, and we're going to get a whistle. And Ross Cullen says it's a blocking foul. Fronin will get the first free throw to go. With 1 minute, 40 seconds to go, he cuts it back to a 3-point game. Just really the only guy we haven't seen tonight is Quan Murphy, who's gotten some floor time in the first 4 games for HBU. And he doesn't look like he'll be coming in here in the next few seconds. Second free throw, no good. The Huskies get it up the floor. Osuji, left side to Gates, take it to the middle. Back left side to Stephen Osuji, a three, off the iron, won't go. Rebound controlled by Rodriguez, and he will save it to Wallace, and Wallace will bring it up. Trailed by Gates. He'll stop at the arc, picked up by Lynch Daniels. Give it to Fronin. He's going to take it into the middle, and we've got an offensive foul. That's going to be number 2 on Byron Fronin. And it'll be Huskies basketball with 66 seconds to go till halftime.
The Huskies are being a lot more patient defensively here in the last 5 or 6 minutes and starting to get some calls on the charges.
(42-39). Gates will get it in to Osuji. Wallace will stay with him as he comes across the stripe. Takes it down left side, back out top to Jalen Gates. 18 on the shot clock, down to 50 on the game clock. Gates starts right, leaves it for Stent, into the middle to Hart, and lost control of it, and he shuffled the feet while he was trying to regain his composure and turns it over with the travel.
Yeah, had a great isolation in the middle of the paint for Ed, and a little too much thinking instead of reacting, I think.
Stanojevic checks out. And Nicolau checks in, and he'll bring it up. Trotting into the forecourt. Behind the back dribble, leave it for Wallace. Wallace, a couple of steps in the paint, but he loses it to Lynch Daniels. Ollie tried to go with a no-look to Jay Gates, but it's stolen by EIA. And the Roadrunners will get it back up. Shot clock is off. They can take the last look if they want it. Down by 3. The Huskies have Jay Gates out top on to Nicolau. Yo-yos the basketball as they go down to the final 9 seconds. Into a double team, almost lost, but Wallace saves it, puts up a desperation 3 at the buzzer, and he gets it to go. And we will get into the locker room at halftime, right where we were at the start. All even up at 42 apiece. Well, a big-time bucket. Wallace has that range, and you don't want to give him much room because he doesn't need it.
No, he doesn't. He's hit a couple like that tonight from distance.
So we are at the midway point. We'll take a timeout and come back with the Huskies halftime report, recap the first half stats, and also check on some of the other action involving Southland Conference teams straight ahead on the Husky Sports Network.
Tammy and I have been going steady since high school.
Tammy and Tommy, two peas in a pod, as they say.
We have all the same friends. We like all the same things. I mean, we practically even have the same name.
But there's one thing we could just never agree on.
Soda.
I have been begging him all these years to just try Pepsi, and I knew he would change his tune.
Yeah.
So, finally, I had him take the Pepsi Taste Challenge. And go on, tell him what you told me, Tommy.
I'm a Pepsi man.
Right? Gosh, isn't Pepsi so good?
I tell you what, I don't know why I didn't try it sooner.
Me neither.
It's so crisp and refreshing and bubbly.
Like me.
Like you.
I'm always right.
She's always right.
All across the South, people are choosing the great taste of Pepsi. Take the Pepsi Taste Challenge and let your taste decide.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known. And if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man, and the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle. Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You were going, son. Call me Ed. You know how fast you were going, Ed. You mean exactly? Yes, exactly. No, not exactly. How fast? Fast. Fast, sir? You were going very fast. Fast is my job, officer. Fast is your job? Yes, sir. What kind of job? I deliver, sir. What do you deliver? The world's greatest gourmet sandwiches. I thought Jimmy John's had the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches. Jimmy John's does have the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches. So you deliver for Jimmy John's? I deliver for Jimmy John's. So do you always deliver fast? I always deliver fast. How fast? I deliver something so fast you freak. It's not so much freak a cop, son. You didn't order a Jimmy John's sub, sir. So if I did order a Jimmy John's sub, when would I get it? Now. What if I don't want it now? Then call later. Or I can pick it up myself. Or you can pick it up yourself. Because I'm pretty fast, too. I'm sure you are, sir. Very fast. I believe you, sir. Faster than you. No way, sir. Way faster. In your dreams. You dissing me, son? No, sir, I'm polite. Fast and polite. Very polite and very, very fast. Is that a challenge, son? No, sir, it's a fact. Let's burn rubber, kid. It wouldn't be fair. Why not? You've got a fully blown V8 Camaro with slicks and headers, so I've got a 10-speed bike. I'll let you off with a warning.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
What's it mean for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716, to send someone to your job site? It means electricians that pass basic trigonometry, calculus, or algebra are sent to your job site. It means electricians familiar with OSHA compliance are sent to your job site. It means IBW electricians made a conscious decision to improve their life and the lives of others. What does it mean? It means everything. To be the best, hire the best.
The time is now to hire IBEW.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
At Holiday Inn Express, we can't guarantee that you'll be able to contain yourself at our breakfast bar.
Morning, egg white omelet. Sup, lady bacon. Fruit.
There it is. But we can guarantee that you'll get the best price when you book with us.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my group. So.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast and a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
This is Ron Cockrell. You're listening to Huskies Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Welcome back in to Sharp Gym on the campus of HBU in Southwest Houston. I'm Lonnie King along with Neil Raphael. And it's 42-42 in our game between your HBU Huskies and the UTSA Roadrunners. Halftime here of this little one-stop among a lot of road games here in November and December, and the Huskies want to defend the home floor here. They did so earlier against Fordham, against the Rams a couple of weekends ago, 75-72 win there, but they would love to keep things going here. Got off to a sluggish start tonight, Neil, but managed to power their way back, but then saw a little late resurgence by UTSA, and they go in tied up here at 42. Who do you think's got to be feeling better about that tie score right about now?
I think the Huskies at this point, like you mentioned, they dug themselves a hole, didn't shoot the ball real well, but then they picked up the pace defensively, started eliminating the second and third chance opportunities, started forcing turnovers, 7-2 right now in favor of HBU. And then look at the bench scoring, unbelievable, 28-7 in front of the Huskies. Fronin has 13 points and Wallace has 9, but I see a lot of bench scoring from the Huskies right now, and I really think that's a major difference. Plus, they're shooting 75% from the free throw line, and a team that's only shot around 55-56 on the season.
Yeah, they got their field goal percentage up, too. They missed 4 of their first 6 field goals in this ball game. Since that time, though, they've gone 13 of 27, just under 50% in the first half. So right now at the break, they're 45.5% from the floor. And, that signifies to me that they're getting some good looks here after that initial sluggish start. And I think the eyeball test can show us that they started getting the ball into the blocks a little more. Ben Uloko contributed a lot to the shooting percentages with a lot of close-in looks that he was making. And I think they're going to have to continue that in the second half.
I think so, too. I think they took some shots they probably didn't want to take early from outside that UTSA was giving them. But those weren't the best quality shots. When they started reversing the basketball to the other side of the floor and attacking the rim, they did much better. Also with the isolation in the post of Oloku as well as Ed Hart there in the first half provided big dividends.
Rebounding differential has narrowed as well. UTSA still leading on the boards, 25-19, and they've got an 11-6 edge on the offensive boards, but we also saw the Huskies come up with a little better effort and limit some of those second and third chances that we saw early in the first half.
Yeah, I think that was a big key, tightening up the defense and stopping the transition opportunities that UTSA had, because that was putting the Huskies in early foul trouble. That's something we talked about. It definitely helped by getting the ball stopped in transition, matching up, and forcing them to play a little 5-on-5 instead of a little 5-on-3.
Well, individually speaking, the Huskies have been led by Ben Uloko off the bench tonight, part of that scoring barrage from the guys who relieved the starters. 8 points apiece from Jalen Gates and Jackson Stent, both off the bench tonight. 4 from Edward Hart, 3 apiece from Ian DeBose and Oliver Lynch-Daniels, and 2 each from Stephen Osuji and Philip McKenzie. And, we were talking about it during the break off mic a little while ago, but if I'm a coach for either one of these teams in the locker room at halftime, I'm telling my team, we didn't get any contributions from our big guys, our big guns in the first half, or at least any huge contributions like we're looking to or are used to. So I think both have reasons for optimism. Ian DeBose sat for almost 13 minutes of the first half, or a little more than 13 minutes of the first half, and then Wallace and Jackson really they put in 15 combined points, 9 for Wallace and 6 for Jackson, but these are guys who can fill it up pretty easily.
Yeah, DeBose only 1 of 2, only touched the ball twice and made 1 free throw, so no doubt that the Roadrunners were keying in on DeBose after seeing the box score against Wake Forest, as well as the rest of the pre-conference season so far. So we'll see if that changes and see if we can get those guys involved here in the second half.
Well, let's take another break. When we come back, we'll look around the Southland Conference scoreboard and get you set for the second half, all when we return on the Husky Sports Network.
4 Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
At Raising Cane's, we believe in one love, quality chicken finger meals. But creating one love is no simple task. Everything has to be served hot and fresh, not just hot. We use only 100% premium chicken tenderloins, guaranteeing a 0% chance of leftovers. We insist on the best ingredients for our fries, like potatoes. And, well, we can keep talking quality, or you can just eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
I didn't believe I could do it. The weight seemed too heavy. My competitors were too fast. I lacked motivation, and then I found the whole t-shirt. I transformed myself and believed that I could conquer the competition. Now everybody takes me serious because I demand them to. If I can do it, you can do it. Under Armour Alter Ego. Transform yourself.
Firehouse Subs was founded by 2 firefighters over 20 years ago. And once a firefighter, always a firefighter. So they've seen to it that a portion of your purchase at all U.S. Firehouse Subs locations now goes toward providing life-saving equipment for first responders. And one more thing, they make awesome subs.
Now get any of our 10 specialty subs in a new small size, each under 500 calories. Big flavor, small subs, starting at $3.99. Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
At Memorial Hermann, we're many parts working in harmony, performing more brain and spinal surgeries than anyone in Houston, conducting groundbreaking research at our Misher Neuroscience Institute, establishing the region's largest network of certified stroke centers. Some might say this makes for an accomplished performance, but to us, it's all in a day's work. Memorial Hermann. Breakthroughs every day.
Going to school at Houston Baptist University was an excellent choice. As the official credit union of HBU, Houston Federal Credit Union is focused on helping you to continue to make great choices. HFCU will meet all your financial needs by providing the personal attention and variety of services you deserve. Stop by any of our convenient locations or visit our website, www.houstonfcu.org, and experience the credit union difference today. Dogs up.
Hi, this is Ron Cockrell, head coach of the HBU Huskies. Thanks for listening to Huskies Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Back here at Sharp Gym, just about set for the second half. Let's take a quick look while we've got a minute at some of the other action involving Southland Conference teams tonight. This is one of 3 games featuring Southland Conference teams. The other 2 feature Texas A&M Corpus Christi and Southeastern Louisiana. A&M Corpus Christi is on the road down in the Valley tonight. against UT Rio Grande, and they trail the Vipers down there 35-33 at the break. A&M Corpus Christi at halftime there on the road, trying to even up their record here in the early season, trailing by 2. Southeastern Louisiana is at home in Hammond tonight, hosting Louisiana College, and that is a 40-31 lead for Southeastern at the midway point there. Tomorrow night, 3 more teams will be in action from the Southland Conference. Northwestern State will host Louisiana Monroe at 6:30 Central. Abilene Christian will be hosting Howard Payne, 7 p.m. Central start there. And SMU is going to host the Lamar Cardinals. The Cardinals on the road in Dallas against the SMU Mustangs. That's also a 7 o'clock Central start tomorrow night. We're ready to go here with the second half of action. And Ian DeBose back out on the floor, joined by Ollie Lynch-Daniels, Braxton Bonds, Philip McKenzie, and Edward Hart, the original starting 5 for Coach Cockrell. And the Roadrunners go back to their starting 5 as well. DeBose out top. The Huskies first with the basketball here in the second half. Give it to Hart. Back to Ian. He's going to penetrate down left side. High off the window. Won't go. Rebound tipped. Ed controls. Put it up. Count it. And he's fouled.
Up to the basket, and he scored that time. Didn't put the ball on the floor, didn't hesitate whatsoever.
And he will get a +1 opportunity here after the make to get things going. Hart, 2 for 4 from the stripe in the first half. And he gets the free throw here to go. So 3 of 5 now, and a 3-point lead for HBU. 19.5 minutes to go, just underway in the second half. Here's Wallace, takes a feed from DeNicolau at 3, top of the arc, rattles out. DeBose with the board for HBU. He's going to press it up the floor himself. Stops just inside the arc, feed it down low to Hart. Good no-look pass, and Ed gets the friendly roll for 2.
Back-to-back basket for Ed Hart.
47-42, out to a 5-point advantage here. First 5 of the second half belong to the Huskies. Here's a feed inside. Bior trying to find Fronin, knocked away. I think Philip McKenzie, or maybe it was Ian DeBose, who got a hand on it, knocked it out of bounds.
Nice to see Keaton Wallace miss one from out there.
Nick Allen takes the inbounds feed, finds Bior, who pops out high to help him out. Wallace, left side to DeNicolau. Ollie picks him up. Screen from Bior, and he's going to drive, leave a bounce pass for Wallace on the wing. Rattles out another 3. That's 2 in a row he's missed, and Hart with the board. One look and back up the other way this time for UTSA. McKenzie, right wing, gets it out top to Lynch-Daniels. Oliver trying to set his offense up. Gets it to Bonds. McKenzie back to Bonds. Off to Ian, right angle, picked up with a double team. Wallace comes out, and we're going to get a carry called on DeBose. Turn it over. I didn't see that, but
I didn't either.
18:15 to go. It's still a 5-point advantage for the Huskies, out to a 5-0 start here in the second half. Bonds picks up DeNicolau. They slide with him into the paint. Hart helps on the double team, loses it, but gets it right back. Now looking for help, finds Fronin, floats it up. Misguided, and the rebound to DeBose. Up ahead to McKenzie for a jam. And it's a 7-0 run to start the second half for the Huskies.
That gets the crowd up.
And Nicolau pressured by Bonds into the forecourt. And he wants a timeout. Or we should say his head coach wants one, and they'll get it with 17:43 to go. And I don't think you could ask for a better start for the Huskies in the second half here.
Yeah, 7-0 run to start the second half. Ed Hart, a big part of it, and that lead pass from DeBose that time, and the slam on the other end. Great job thus far by the Huskies. They've come out with a lot of energy, Lonnie.
Yeah, and on top of that, defensively, we haven't seen the Huskies allowing second chance looks on any possession yet so far for UTSA. And you would have to think that Coach Cockrell and his staff focused on that in the locker room at halftime.
Oh, no doubt.
17:43 to go. 49-42. Again, a reminder, our next game will be Saturday afternoon in Ruston, Louisiana. The Huskies will take on the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. 4 p.m. Central start there. We'll have the pregame for you at 3:40 Central Time. And invite you to join us then. UTSA basketball out of the timeout. De Nicolau go over near the Roadrunner bench, and he'll get it inbounds to Allen. Back to De Nicolau. To Fronin, right angle. Out top. De Nicolau looks for help into the corner to Bior. He's double teamed, and the Huskies are going to force him to call a timeout. 17:30 to go.
Yeah, Hart and McKenzie trapped him in the corner. Great job.
Well, you never know how critical those timeouts may be as you get down the stretch here. So let's see if that's a big play. A lot of times you overlook those early in a game like this, and they do wind up playing a role later on. We'll try to make a mental note of that. But good defense, as you said, by Hart and McKenzie to force that timeout call there.
Yeah. 2.5 minutes here, the second half, and the Roadrunners have not scored.
Mentioned men's basketball. Next game is on the road at Louisiana Tech. The Huskies women are right here tomorrow night in Sharp Gym. Donna Finney's squad out to a 3-2 start, and they gave Texas Tech a run for their money on the road over the weekend. Here's a ball knocked out of bounds by Oliver Lynch Daniels. UTSA basketball. But tomorrow night at 7, they will host University of the Southwest. Here's a tip and a steal. Hart up ahead with a long outlet to Bonds. Leave it for McKenzie. Lay it off the window for 2. A 9-0 run starts the second half here. And a travel on De Nicolau.
UTSA definitely out of rhythm right here to start the second half.
Ian DeBose is going to check out. Nope, I'm sorry, he'll stay in. Thought he was going to the bench there. Javon Jackson does check in for UTSA. Bonds out top, right side to Lynch Daniels. Feed it to Ian on the wing. Back out top to Braxton. Looks for the cutter, but he'll dribble down left side, puts up a floater, won't go. The rebound tipped, and it's going to come out to Wallace. Outlet to Bior, and he has his pass intercepted by McKenzie. Up ahead to DeBose. Left side, he'll back it out. Wallace picked him up on the baseline. Ian to Braxton. Braxton out top.
They're playing Ian pretty close. He doesn't have a whole lot of breathing room once he catches the ball.
Ed down low, a double team, but he puts it up and in with a strong move off the window, and it's now an 11-0 start. Here's Wallace, loses his footing. Now he's on the deck, and he's going to throw it away. They're going to say it was tipped by the Huskies out of bounds.
Yeah, great energy by Braxton Bonds. The young man was laying on the floor, and he was just swatting at it. He's trying to get it out, but Ed Hart did a great job of utilizing his size. The size advantage was very impressive that time by Ed.
53-42 Huskies. We were tied at 42 at the halftime break. Bior dribbles out top, and we're going to get a foul on Braxton Bonds away from the basketball.
I didn't see that one.
I did not either, but I have to admit I wasn't looking at Braxton and Keaton Wallace.
Right.
Bonds will pick up his first personal foul. That's just the first team foul of the second half on HBU. Bior feeds it to Fronin, right side, out top to Jackson. Lynch Daniels marks him closely. The defense has tightened up a little bit here in the second half. Here's Jackson, penetration move. His shot rolls off the iron, and we've got a foul going to be called, I believe, on Bior. It is. And that stops the clock with 15:53 to go. So we come to our first timeout of the second half here, the first media timeout of the second half, with the Huskies out to an 11-0 start here in the final 20 minutes. Take a break and come back on the Huskies Sports Network.
4 Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
Every visit to Raising Cane's begins with a moment of truth. What to have? 6 delicious, fresh, never ever frozen premium chicken fingers? 4 chicken fingers? Or perhaps 3 delectable chicken fingers? It's a tough one. We haven't even gotten to the whole coleslaw crinkle fried conundrum of deliciousness. Yeah, take your time, sister. We understand. Raising Cane's, one love.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Four minutes and 7 seconds into the second half. The Huskies have started out on an 11-0 run after the break, and they've got the basketball up the floor. Lance Daniels to McKenzie in the forecourt, and he'll dribble left to right across the top of the arc.
UTSA has now extended their man-to-man defense. A lot more aggressive out there.
Lance Daniels tried to find Ed Hart down low, but led him a little too far. Went off his fingertips and out of bounds. Over to the Roadrunners. Now Bonds is going to apply a little defensive pressure in the backcourt on Wallace, but he'll hurry it up. Almost double dribbled, but got the shot off. Count the bucket, they say. And the foul is going to be charged to Edward Hart. That's just the first foul on Ed, though. He's going to get a breather. Ben Yoloko will check in for him. Jalen Gates and Stephen Osuji will check into the backcourt. And so Lynch Daniels and Bonds will get a breather as well as Keaton Wallace heads to the free throw line. His first free throw attempts of the ball game, and the first one is good. Check it. He got them both to go, excuse me. Or that was a +1. I'll get it straight here in a minute, folks. Got the field goal and the +1. It's the first points of the second half for UTSA. 53-45 as Dubose dribbles down low, right side, puts it up with a turnaround, and he's going to be fouled. And it's going to be Bior who picks up his third foul. And that's going to send Ian to the free throw line here to shoot a pair. And that first free throw will bounce off the iron. One more to come. 15:09 to go in regulation time. The second free throw is good. It's back up to a 9-point lead for the Huskies. 54-45. Ian now with 4 points in the ball game. Fronin going to drive in, float it up off the window, high off the glass. Nice little move by Fronin, and he gets the bucket. 54-47, under 15 to go. Jay Gates almost lost the dribble, but saves it to Yoloko, and he's going to be no, they're going to call an offensive foul. They're going to say Ben stuck his hip out. I didn't know you could set a pick with the basketball in your hand.
5-1 run for the UTSA Roadrunners.
Here's Wallace into the paint, an acrobatic shot with the left hand. He gets it to go. Rolls around the iron and drops down through, and that run is now 7-1, 54-49. Huskies by 5. DuBose trying to dribble in on Jackson, and Jackson will pick up the personal. Second foul on Jackson. That's 4 on UTSA here. Huskies will send Stephen Osuji over by the bench to inbound it, and he'll get it in to Jalen Gates. Gates finds McKenzie. They play pitch and catch out beyond the arc. Backs out and now drives in, tries to go past Wallace and leave it for Osuji. Knocked out by Jackson again. Down to 8 seconds on the shot clock. Suge right back to inbound it again. This time finds DuBose. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ian will drive in, goes up, and he's going to be called for an offensive foul. He got the friendly roll, but wipe it out because Darren George says he lowered the shoulder. Ron Cockrell is wondering how that could be. 14 minutes to go here as Wallace brings it up the floor. Suji will pick him up and bump him with the body, and they'll call him for the foul. And now,
yeah, they're calling the game a lot tighter here in the second half, and I don't know what the reasoning is for that, but it's happening.
Yeah, and almost seems like they're trying to balance something out here.
Yeah.
Wallace gets it to Fronin. Fronin to Iaye. He will drive in, put it up, and we're going to get a blocking foul on Osuji.
Wow.
And count the bucket. And the calls have definitely swung the other way if you're a Huskies fan.
Well, and they've come a little bit later than you would expect.
Adokie Iaye to the free throw line. He's got the field goal, so this is a +1. He's got 3 points now and add the 4th on the free throw, and it's down to a 2-point game again. So the 11-0 run that HBU got out to has been answered by a 10-1 run, and the lead is just 2. DuBose puts up an air ball, but it's saved underneath by Osuji. Off to Gates. His 3 won't go. Ian with the follow. Hit from behind, and there's the whistle.
Yeah. Well, Ian with 3 fouls as well as Osuji here. So maybe something we need to keep an eye on here in the second half. But Ian's just trying to build some confidence and get on the scoreboard here.
Keaton Wallace charged with that personal foul. That is 5 now on UTSA here in the second half. DuBose gets the first free throw to go. Ian averaging just under 16 a game. He's got 5 right now. Foul trouble early. Here's a miss, but a follow by McKenzie, and he can't get the point-blank look to go. But it's loose on the floor, and the hustle by Osuji saves it to DuBose. And we're going to get a foul. And now Darren George says they got a timeout before the foul.
Yeah, Coach Cottrell's like, who called the timeout? Wasn't me. I'm the head coach here, so. Yeah.
Well, that's going to cost.
Wow, he's going to come out. Who called it? He didn't exactly. I'm reading his lips over here. He did not call that timeout. He's like, my assistant couldn't have called it, so. Nonetheless, there's a timeout, so I don't think you can overturn that. Interesting.
Well, the officials will huddle up and talk something over.
Yeah,
but
I mean, who are you going to give it to? I mean, you're not going to overturn that call, so.
Well, you wonder if maybe they're discussing whether or not that foul was called before the timeout. Maybe they're going to charge a foul here anyway.
Could be, but I bet they're not going to. Well, I don't know what they're going to do with this. I'm not sure they're reversing much of anything, but. I couldn't make that out. He said something about a timeout, but maybe they'll erase it, Lonnie.
So, with 13-14 to go, it's kind of a do-over here, except without a foul charge to UTSA. Huskies inbound the ball. 22 on the shot clock, so plenty of time as Ian DeBose dribbles on the left wing.
Maybe the officials just anticipated that. That's what happens a lot of times when you're on the floor.
Jalen Gates for a three. Won't go. Rebound tipped, and McKenzie trying to run it down. Cannot catch up. Hits the deck right in front of Keith Berard over on the Huskies bench. But it'll go back over to the Roadrunners. Nick Allen's going to check in. And you see Stanijevic out on the floor as well. Fronin will sit down. And Wallace will bring it across the timeline. Osuji meets him there at midcourt. Swing it to Jackson, right angle. Gates on him, goes by, down to the baseline, floats it up, won't go, and DeBose with the board for the Huskies. Ian off on the run. He's going to pull up at the arc, right side. Feed it into the low blocks to Yoloko. Turn around, face up, jumper, and Ben gets a little 10-footer to go. He's got a dozen now. Recaptures the scoring lead for the Huskies. And it's back out to a 7-point lead. Here's Jackson, puts it up, and he's going to be hit by Stent.
Yeah, Stent was slapping at the basketball, and he got armed. They're going to call that.
Yeah, right underneath like that, you're rarely going to get the benefit of a whistle if you're on defense. Javon Jackson to the free throw line, and his free throw is off the mark. He was the CUSA Freshman of the Year last year, tore his ACL late in the season. We see he wears a knee brace on that left leg still. They held him out of the first 3 games.
Exactly. Just returned to action last Monday, so he's trying to get his legs under him, literally.
Gets a second free throw, 1 out of 2, and it's a 4-point edge for the Huskies.
You always wonder, it's if you're ever going to be that full strength again and how much recovery time you really need and if they kind of rush you into it.
Osuji with a nice drive. He can't get it to go, but the rebound is stolen away by Gates. Into the corner, Stent has his shot partially blocked, and Allen will pick it off and get it off to Wallace.
Just doesn't look like he's moving that well out there.
I think it's affecting his shooting rhythm as well. Trying to drive in by Lynch Daniels, leaves it off for EIA, and we got an offensive foul as Jackson Stent took the charge. Stops the clock with 11:30 to go and brings us to a timeout on the floor. Huskies holding on to a 4-point lead, have led by as many as 11 since halftime, but go to the break here with a 4-point edge, 57-53 on the Husky Sports Network.
What's on your mind, kid? Make it fast.
I'd like to work here at Jimmy John's, world's greatest gourmet sandwich shop, sir.
Why do you want to work at Jim John's, kid?
I'm perfect for Jimmy John's.
Doing what?
Delivery.
Delivery?
Delivery.
We deliver pretty fast here at Jim John's.
That's what I heard.
What'd you hear?
You deliver pretty fast here at Jimmy John's.
Then you heard right.
I'm a fast study, sir.
You know the Jim John's slogan?
The Jimmy John's slogan?
Jim John's slogan is sub so fast you'll freak.
Sub so fast you'll freak is a swell slogan, sir.
When people call for a Jim John's sandwich, they want it fast.
Then I'm your man, sir.
How so?
Because I'm fast.
Fast at what?
Fast at everything.
Can you deliver fast?
I can deliver fast.
How fast?
I got one in 4:40 until 20.
Minutes?
No seconds.
That's fast. You deliver before?
I delivered newspapers before.
Were you fast?
Very fast.
How fast?
People got tomorrow's paper today.
That's fast.
So do I have the job?
Not so fast. How do I know you're not just some fast talker?
I can get your references.
When?
Now.
These are good references.
Thank you.
But at Jimmy John's, you gotta be more than fast.
More than fast?
You gotta be polite.
Fast and polite.
Fast and polite.
I can do fast and polite.
Okay, give me some time to think it over.
Okay.
Okay, I've thought it over. When can you start?
Now.
Now it's good. What's your name, kid?
Stefan Papadopoulos.
Too long. How about Ed?
That's fine.
Welcome aboard, Ed.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
Hi, this is Ron Cockrell, head coach of the HBU Huskies. Thanks for listening to Huskies Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
11:30 to go here in regulation time. Huskies by 4. Interesting to note that the rebounding has evened up. It is symmetrical on the score sheet here. 29 rebounds for both teams, 11 offensive boards, 18 defensive boards.
Also the paint scoring, 28 apiece.
Huskies up the floor, leading by 4. Osuji across the timeline, picked up by EIA. Gets a screen from Yoloko. Leave it for Gates. He'll fire up a 3. Short, off the iron. As hot as Jay was in the first half, he's been cold here in the second half. Yoloko tries to dive and save the loose ball in the corner. Hit the deck pretty hard, and he's grimacing a little bit as he heads back up the floor. It'll be UTSA basketball. So we roll down toward 11 minutes to go. De Nicolau back out on the floor, dribbles it up. Leaves it for Fronin, who's going to go to the middle, float up a little shot with the left-hander, and it drops down through. It's a 2-point game. Osuji will stop at the arc, right side angle. Now takes it in, finds a lane, and lays it in with the right hand.
Nice job by Osuji finding the crease and getting to the rim.
59-55, Huskies by 4. Here's a reversal put up by De Nicolau. Won't go, but Allen is there for the putback. Fans underneath the basket over there, I think, wanted an offensive foul, but there was no call. Lynch Daniels into a double team, and he's going to be tied up by De Nicolau.
Yeah, dribbled into traffic, into 3 defenders there, and they tied it up that time.
10:21 to go. It'll be UTSA basketball on the alternating possession. Fronin will get it in to De Nicolau, and he will bring it up. Goes to Wallace, right side. Fronin out top. DeBose and Hart about to check back in for the Huskies. Wallace drives in with the left hand, got it to go, and he's fouled. Ollie Lynch Daniels is going to pick up his second.
Yeah, Ollie trailed him a little bit, came down on him. Husky defense needs to slide over and help on the drive. Good to see Ed Hart back in there.
Braxton Bonds will join Hart and DuBose. Iloko, Osuji, and Gates will check out. We're all tied up at 59, and Wallace is going to try to give UTSA the lead again. And he does with the free throw. It's 60-59. Wallace with a dozen now. Bonds brings it up the floor. Braxton into low blocks, goes to Hart, and we've got a foul going to be called down low. It's going to be charged to Bior. That'll be his 4th.
Yeah, I think Ed caught a break that time before he secured the ball. It was knocked out of his hand.
It's going to be the 7th team foul on UTSA, so it's going to send Ed to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity.
Ed 3 of 5 from the free throw line tonight.
Bior checks out, picking up that 4th foul in a hurry. And Hart misses the front end, so he will not get the second one, as Wallace will bring it back up for UTSA. Screen from Fronin as he moves to the left angle. Leave it in the corner for EIA. He finds Allen back to the basket, out top to Fronin. Fronin cut off by Stent, takes it in, puts it up, and got it to go. Fronin has 19 points now this evening, and there's the ball knocked out of bounds by Wallace. When we were looking at offensive threats in this game, Fronin was not the guy that jumped to mind first.
No, he's having a strong second half. Struggled a little bit in the first half, but coming into his own.
Leads all scorers with those 19 points. The Huskies down by 3 now as they bring it up. Ian DeBose going to drive in past De Nicolau, but his runner is short, hits the iron, and comes off to the Roadrunners on the run. 3-on-2. De Nicolau strong to the rack, and he lays it up and in, and now it's a 5-point lead. This is a 9-0 run now for the Roadrunners. Lynch Daniels is going to try to put it up, but the follow tip put in by Braxton Bonds. He gets it to go, and Braxton's got 4 now.
Well, the pace of this game is picked up, and HBU hasn't quite adjusted to the pace, so 5-on-5, they've done a much better job when they've slowed the pace down.
8:25 to go. DeNicolau backs it down on Lynch Daniels, feeds it to Fronin, out top. Wallace going to get it in the corner to Nicolau, and we've got a whistle, and I think Ollie just picked up his fourth, or check out his third. Ollie had a tough defensive assignment on Friday at Wake Forest, and he fouled out of that game, and he's trying to stay with Wallace here. He's done a pretty good job of it tonight, but has drawn a couple of fouls in the process. Jackson Stent checks out for the Huskies, and Philip McKenzie back out onto the floor. So the Huskies with their starting five out there right now. The free throw is missed by DeNicolau, so he will not get the second. And the Huskies bring it up the floor. And McKenzie, or check it, it's DuBose trying to go up, and they're going to say he was not shooting. They're going to call it a 1-and-1 opportunity.
Kind of bailed out there. He was 1-on-4 there and didn't really have the numbers. Left his feet, but he was fouled in the process.
Ian's free throw is good. He'll get the second. Cuts it back down to 2. That's now 6 points for DuBose. I believe all of his points here in the second half have come at the free throw line so far.
15-8, 15.8 on the season for DuBose. Nice to see him rack up some points here in the second half and get in rhythm.
Second free throw was good as well. It's a 1-point game again as the Huskies are looking for a defensive stop, this time down the floor. Allen feeds it off to Jackson. He's open for a three. Off the back iron, though, and McKenzie with the rebound for the Huskies. Feed it off to Oliver Lynch Daniels. He'll leave it for DuBose. Top of the arc. Feed it in low to Hart, and he gets the move on Allen and lays it off the window.
Yeah, great isolation on the low block for Ed Hart.
Huskies back up by a point, 65-64. Allen out top. Leave it for Jackson, and Jackson, a little nice acting job there. Is going to draw a foul on Edward Hart. And that'll stop the clock with 7:30 to go in the ball game. Huskies lead by 1, but this looks like it has the earmarks of a back-and-forth affair down to the wire here. We'll see when we come back on the Husky Sports Network.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known, and if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man. And the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Reminder, more basketball for you this week on the Husky Sports Network. Tomorrow night, HBU women's basketball takes their 3-2 record into Sharp Gym here on campus against the University of the Southwest. 7 p.m. start for that one. Bill Cousins will have the pregame show for you and all the play-by-play, but we invite you to get out to the arena here, see Donna Finney's squad in action live. The free throw from Jackson at the line. Gets the first one to go and ties us back up at 65. 11 of 19, now 12 of 20 as a team for UTSA at the stripe tonight. And they take the 1-point lead as Jackson gets the second one to go. 66-65, Bonds with the dribble into the paint, leave it on the wing for McKenzie. He has Jackson fly by him, stops, puts up the jumper, won't go, but the rebound fortunately goes back to HBU. Bonds way out top to Lynch Daniels. His long-range three won't go, but we've got a foul as McKenzie hits the deck hard, and he is still down.
Yeah, the back of his head hit the free throw line, basically.
Chris Eaton, the trainer, up off the bench, but Phil is up on his feet before Chris can get out there. And now the officials are going to come over and look at this one. Think they're looking for a flagrant here, or?
Not sure on that.
I'm asking you to read minds here. I know you
didn't see a whole lot there. I know it was a hard tumble, but it looked like a common foul to me. So we'll see. I'm not the pro, so.
Yeah. Darren George and Ross Cullens looking it over. 7:03 to go here in regulation time.
Yeah. I think he heard me over here because he's mouthing common foul.
And I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
Good to see Phil got up and is okay. He will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. So if he can get them both, he would give the Huskies their lead back. Kinsey, a 50% free throw shooter on the season. This is his first trip to the line tonight. Eyes a bucket and gets the first one to go. Friendly rims there. One more to come. We're all knotted up at 66. 7 minutes of action left, maybe more. We saw that on Friday. Second free throw too strong off the back iron, and Wallace controls uncontested for UTSA. 66 all, under 7 minutes to go now. Wallace left side to Jackson. They play pitch and catch out top. EIA takes a feed right side. Cronin into the corner to Allen. A three off the mark, and the rebound pulled down by DeBose. Off on the run, he brings it up himself. Pulls up, waits for his teammates to set up. Swinging around into the corner, McKenzie. Back to Bonds. Bonds drives in, dish it out to Lynch Daniels. Spin move, stops at the elbow. Looking for help, finds McKenzie. Still 10 on the shot clock. Bonds right side, penetration, puts it up with the left hand, and he gets it to roll in. Braxton now with 6. Here's a three from EIA, won't go, and Bonds skies for the board.
Nice shooter's roll by Bonds last time down, and
Lynch Daniels tries to put it up this time on the move. He'll be bumped by Nick Allen, and that'll be the fourth on Allen.
I like the fact that HBU is continuing to attack the rim. They had some spacing going on a minute ago, and I thought they were going to look for the three, and I'm like, man, they've had so much success going to the rim tonight. Kind of need to stick with what you have, what's working.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of success from the three.
No.
3 of 17 tonight, and Ollie gets the first free throw here.
And that's what kind of hurt UTSA on the last possession. They had some spacing, but didn't have the best look. So,
yeah, neither team has shot well from distance tonight. Oliver with the second free throw as well. And Lynch Daniels has 5 points now. The Huskies' lead is up to 4, 70-66. We're under 6 minutes to go. Wallace, right baseline to EIA. He tries to put up a runner, won't go. McKenzie leaves it for DeBose up ahead on the run. Lynch Daniels lays it off the glass for 2.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness of Lynch Daniels here in the last couple of minutes. He's a good shooter, but, you know, he didn't have it, so took it to the rim. Heads-up play. High basketball IQ.
6-point advantage. Here's a feed into Fronin. Down low. Nowhere to go with Hart right there. Swing it out. Wallace in the corner to Jackson. He has no conscience and puts it up and gets it to fall.
Yeah, that's what three-point shooters do. They don't have a memory.
72-69. Closing in on the 5-minute mark. DeBose, right side, cut off at the baseline. Takes it, gives it off to Hart. Hart comes up short on the layup, and Jackson off on the run for UTSA. He tries to go in, and Bonds is going to get him. Braxton left his feet. Jackson drew the contact.
It's kind of gassed here. I think he's going to get a breather before the last couple of minutes because it doesn't usually miss those point-blank shots.
Yep, we see Uloco at the table. He'll check in. Jackson Stent and Jalen Gates will as well after this first free throw by Javon Jackson.
Yeah, the pace is increasing here, so.
Jackson gets that first one to go. Bonds and Lynch Daniels, the only two Huskies that will stay out there. Let's see now. Lynch Daniels is going to come out as Osuji's going to give him a breather. Ollie looks a little winded as well. Pace of this game, as you mentioned a moment ago, has really picked up here in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Jackson gets both free throws to go, and it's back to a 1-point game. He's got 13 points now, so he's up to his average. Check it, he's got 14 now, so a little over his average for the season in just his 4th game. Jalen Gates out top, feeds it left angle to Stent. Down low to Uloco, tries to move around Allen. Gets around him, but has a double team on him, and it's tipped away and stolen. Jackson going to put up a 3 and gets it to go.
Oh, my.
From the right angle, and it's a 2-point edge for UTSA. Bonds in a hurry back the other way. The Huskies not going to waste any time getting it back up the floor. This time feed Uloco again. They sink down on him. He puts it up short off the iron. A loose ball. It's pulled down by Wallace. Well, now we see the UTSA is sinking down when it goes into the post. And they'll hold it up in the forecourt under 4 minutes left. Leading by 2. De Nicolau holds it up out top. Swing it to Wallace in the corner, a 3, and he got it.
Yeah, back-to-back threes for UTSA.
Well, and you don't want to see Jackson and Wallace heat up right now.
No, you do not.
We got a foul coming up the floor. It's going to be on Javon Jackson. That'll stop the clock with 3:39 to go. And the Huskies will be at the free throw line when we come out of the timeout. But we've got a break, and we'll take it with them. 77-72, UTSA with a 5-point lead on the Husky Sports Network.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
Rolling up on a cheap price feels good, but cheap comes with risk. Heart surgeons, pilots, no one hires a cheap one of them. Fact is, certain things must be done right. Installing electricity in Houston schools and hospitals needs to be built with manpower that spent 10,000 hours training to do their job. So for heart surgeons to do their job, we must do ours. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
At Holiday Inn Express, we can't guarantee that you'll be able to contain yourself at our breakfast bar.
Morning, egg white omelet. Sup, Lady Bacon.
Fruit.
There it is.
But we can guarantee that you'll get the best price when you book with us.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
Hi, I'm Ron Cockrell. Thanks for listening to HBU Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Braxton Bonds was fouled right before the timeout there, and so each team is in the double bonus, and Braxton goes to the free throw line and
needs to stay up on those toes. Full extension by Braxton. See if he can get this second one in.
Comes up short, 1 more to go. I think it's starting to become a mental thing, too, for Braxton. Second one is too strong off the back iron. And with 3:33 to go, UTSA brings it up the floor. Here's a steal by Jalen Gates, though, off the pass from Wallace, and Jay will send it back the other way. The Bonds in the middle, leave it for Stent, and they're going to call him for a walk. Tried to put it on the floor, but shuffled the feet.
Drug that right foot.
So the Huskies turn it over again, and back the other way come the Roadrunners. To Nicolau, to EIA. He'll find Fronin out top, and he goes to Wallace left side. Back to the Nicolau. He's marked closely by Osuji, and almost a steal, but Bonds is going to pick up the personal. That'll be his second. It'll send De Nicolau to the free throw line.
Yeah, the double bonus all the way out for both teams here, and we'll see if this becomes a free throw shooting contest.
Giovanni De Nicolau, a 77% free throw shooter on the season. 0 for 1 this evening, but.
And, you know, down 5 here. We'll see if HBU changes what they're doing offensively. We'll see if they start shooting some threes.
Bonds sits down, and DuBose checks in for him. He gets the second free throw to go.
Yeah, it's only a 2-possession game, but they've got to get some good looks.
Well, and here's where struggling at the three-point line tonight may present a problem. We'll see if they can heat it up a little. Jalen Gates.
I'd be surprised if Ed Hart doesn't come back pretty soon.
Here's Gates for three, too strong, and Stent tried to go for the board. He was bumped from behind and is holding his ankle down on the floor, and we've got a whistle as Jackson is still down, and he immediately grabbed for that left ankle.
Yeah, no injuries, great, but if you see him grab an ankle over a knee, you feel a little bit better, but we'll see what happens here. Looks like he's going to be helped up. That's always a good sign. May have just tweaked it.
Not able to put a lot of weight on that one, on that left foot, though. He'll get a hand as he checks out. McKenzie, Uloko, DuBose, Gates, and Osuji will head up the floor on defense now.
Yeah, the Huskies desperately need a stop.
2:40 to go, down by 6.
Really need.
Nicolau has it stolen away by McKenzie, but he loses it. Fronin tried to save it, and he does, but to Gates. Gates to DuBose, down low to Uloko, and he's going to be fouled by Nick Allen, and I think Nick Allen is done. That is the 5th on Allen. And it'll send Ben Uloko to the free throw line. Atem Bior is going to check in. Allen fouls out with 2:29 to go. He finishes the evening with 8 points.
Uloko, a 50% shooter on the season.
Gets the first one to go here. 2:29 left in regulation time.
Let's see if he makes this, if there's any full court pressure by HBU.
He does make the second one, and there is pressure in the backcourt by the Huskies. Gates picks up Jackson. They'll come up side by side across the timeline.
Just don't want to pick up a cheap foul at this point. 2-possession game.
To Nicolau, dribbles out top. Osuji on him. He goes by him. And down low to Fronin. Fronin left alone and lays it off the window for 2. It's back out to 6, 80-74. Here's DuBose. Can't get the runner to go off the window, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds by UTSA. Huskies will keep possession of the ball. (80-74), 122 seconds left. Osuji on the baseline. Lobs it out high to Yoloko. He'll find Jalen Gates. Jay to Osuji. Feed it down low to Yoloko again. He's going to be bumped from behind. It's either Fronin or Bior that picks up the personal.
We need Yoloko to put 2 more in.
Fronin picks up his 3rd. If that had been on Bior, that would have been his 5th.
Yes.
It is instead the 4th. I think I said it was the 3rd on Fronin, but it is his 4th. And Ben misses on the first free throw. 6-point deficit for the Huskies. 80-74. And Yoloko's second free throw is too strong. Missed them both. And DeNicolau controls for UTSA. He'll get into the forecourt. Picked up by Jalen Gates. Out near the midcourt line. Goes right side to Jackson. Left alone for a 3. Off the mark. And DeBose with the board for the Huskies. They get up the floor in a hurry. Leave it on the wing for Osuji. Open for a 3. Off the mark. And it's going to go out of bounds without a touch. Deflected off the iron and nobody there for the Huskies to pick it up, and UTSA was satisfied to let it bounce out of bounds, and that stops the clock with 1:28 to go. We got a timeout on the floor, and we'll hang on to it right here.
That was a good look. Osuji had a nice open look from the left side, floated a little bit in the air, but that's exactly the look that Coach Cockrell wanted there. That would brought it down to 1 possession. So they're going to have to play some strong defense without fouling here and hopefully get a turnover.
80-74. Stick with us, folks. After this one, we'll put a wrap on it on the Huskies postgame report. Chat with the head coach, Ron Cottrell, win or lose. But we'd love to be celebrating another win here this evening. Fronin will go back to the end line to get the ball inbound. The Huskies again go to some full court pressure, but they don't deny on the inbounds pass, and Jackson will get it and bring it into the front court. And through traffic, feeds Bior on the baseline, swing it out to Wallace. There's content now to eat up a little of this clock, leading by 6. Gates on Jackson. He's going to drive in, cut off outside to Wallace, down to 6 on the shot clock. Puts up a little runner, won't go. The rebound to Fronin, though, and they've got a new shot clock. And now the Huskies may have to foul.
They will. You got to make that decision on who to foul. So.
And McKenzie fouls DeNicolau.
Problem here, any free throws made, it becomes a 3-possession contest.
.51 seconds to go, and DeNicolau at the line can extend the lead to 7 with the first free throw. He does, so he will get the second one. Oliver Lynch Daniels will check back in. Huskies need some shooters with a little range now.
Yeah.
One more for DeNicolau at the line. He's got 4 points this evening. And the second free throw rims out. 81-74. DuBose in a hurry up the floor. Off the glass for 2. Counted, and he'll go to the line.
Great job coast to coast by Ian DuBose.
It's now 9 points for Ian. Jay Gates will check out, and McKenzie, for defensive purposes, will check back in. .81-76, and Ian cuts it down to 4. 81-77. Another defensive stand is what the Huskies need. And Wallace has the inbounds pass. Double teamed in the backcourt. He's going to get it to Fronin. Almost tipped and stolen by DuBose, but saved by Jackson. Take it into the corner, and McKenzie's going to have to foul him.
Yeah, time is not on the Huskies side, so.
31.8 seconds to go as the clock stops, while Javon Jackson will go to the line, and Jay Gates will check back in. Jackson gets the first free throw to go. Gates for McKenzie. Offense for defense here.
That's going to keep it at 2 possessions no matter what, which is good for the Huskies.
Jackson gets the second one as well. It's a 6-point game. Jay Gates up the floor in a hurry. On the dribble, he's going to put up a 3, and too strong off the iron, and the rebound comes off to Javon Jackson.
Wow.
It's going to be Huskies basketball on the alternating possession, so a little bit of a break there.
Yeah, heads-up play by Osuji.
Huskies will be looking for a 3, and we'll see if UTSA tries to deny that. Jay Gates way out top. Thought about it from there, but gets it off to DeBose. He'll drive in. He's going to try to go for an old-fashioned three-point play. He'll draw the foul, but couldn't get the shot to go. And he'll have 2 at the line.
Now, miss or make, the Huskies are going to need to foul. If they make both, it'll be a 4-point game. Still 2 possessions, but you're very limited by time now. So
the Nicolau,
that's something,
was charged with that foul. It's his 5th personal foul. And so now Steve Henson uses up a little time to make his substitution. It's going to be EIA. Dokie EIA checks in.
That's why they pay those assistant coaches the big bucks to determine who's going to miss those free throws, Lonnie.
DeBose at the line for the Huskies. We will not have a shot clock any longer in regulation time here. First free throw is good from Ian. 1 more to come.
I think you play a couple of seconds out, you go for a steal. If not, you're going to have to foul.
And we get a timeout.
Yeah, he's got 3. Now, I think he's, maybe, no. I thought he had 3, but maybe
I think
down
he's
to
down
1.
to his last one now. I think they called one a little bit earlier. 17.3 seconds left. Braxton Bonds goes to the table. He'll check back in. Coach Cockrell wants to set up the defense here.
Yeah, going to have 4 guards and 1 forward out there. You got to have your quick guys out.
Looking across the way, Jackson Stent sitting at the end of the Huskies bench. Still looks like he's nursing that left ankle.
Yeah, I don't see any ice on it.
No.
Which is maybe a good sign.
Here comes the inbounds pass from Fronin. He finds Jackson, and Jackson up ahead to EIA. He'll be fouled. That's going to be on Oliver Lynch-Daniels. That's his 4th. And EIA goes to the free throw line. And he can perhaps put this one away, but misses the first one. 1 more to come, so still a little opening in the door.
Still 2-possession game.
You would need a quick bucket here. Either way, he gets the second one to go. 5-point lead. Lynch-Daniels off to Ian DeBose. Got to get it up quickly. Ian with the 3. Got it. Stop the clock with 7.2 to go. It's 84-82 now.
Yeah, that's how big that free throw was down there.
Well, now do you go for a quick foul again and hope they miss at least one of them?
I think you have to. I mean, you go for the steal naturally first while there's no time coming off the clock, but then you're going to have to foul because no question.
Oh, we saw Ian hit a big 3 right at the buzzer the other day against Wake Forest to tie it up. Yeah. Send it to overtime.
The whole key to that was Was the high screen that time.
7.2 seconds to go.
That big body by Aloko with the high screen opened DeBose.
Huskies opened up the second half on an 11-0 run, but it has been UTSA ever since then, with the exception of this last little stretch. The Huskies are trying to claw back into it.
The only problem is you don't have a timeout left, and that's tough.
Jackson gets the inbounds pass. He's fouled immediately by Osuji, and so now with exactly 6 seconds to go, you gotta hope that Jackson misses at least one of these. UTSA is gonna back everybody off the line. Jackson gets the first one. DeBose is gonna check in. Gates will check in. They want their range. Jackson with one more free throw can almost make it academic, and he does. It's a 4-point game with 6 seconds to go. Gates up the floor in a hurry. He puts up a shot from 3, too strong, and that'll do it. The Huskies will fall at home here by 4, 86-82 to the UTSA Roadrunners. So for the second consecutive year, UTSA holds off the Huskies and comes away with a victory. Take a timeout, come back and put a wrap on it on the Huskies postgame report after this on the Husky Sports Network.
Are you a graduate of Houston Baptist University? Did you know the value of your degree increases when you actively participate in the HBU Alumni Association? Your Alumni Association actively supports the growth, retention, and ranking of our school by our scholarship efforts. Husky Alumni Network volunteers actively work to recruit the best and brightest to HBU, and we promote and support programs intended to build a growing network of people committed to quality, higher Christian education through our alumni scholarship efforts. We also work to strengthen the bond between our university and the community, and we're your connection to over 18,000 fellow alumni, mostly in and around the Houston metro area. Log on to learn more about our mission and your privileges and benefits at hbu.edu/alumni. And find us via social media on Facebook at the Houston Baptist University Alumni Association page and on Twitter and Instagram at HBU_alumni. But no matter how you do it, connect with the HBU Alumni Association, because a strong alumni base equals a strong HBU.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my group. So.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast and a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
Tammy and I have been going steady since high school.
Tammy and Tommy, 2 peas in a pod, as they say.
We have all the same friends. We like all the same things. I mean, we practically even have the same name.
But there's one thing we could just never agree on.
Soda.
I have been begging him all these years to just try Pepsi, and I knew he would change his tune.
Yeah.
So, finally, I had him take the Pepsi Taste Challenge. And go on, tell him what you told me, Tommy.
I'm a Pepsi man.
Right? Gosh, isn't Pepsi so good?
I tell you what, I don't know why I didn't try it sooner.
Me neither.
It's so crisp and refreshing and bubbly.
Like me.
Like you.
I'm always right.
She's always right.
All across the South, people are choosing the great taste of Pepsi. Take the Pepsi Taste Challenge and let your taste decide.
Run with UA Map My Run. With your UA connected footwear, you can leave your phone behind. However, if you choose to run with it, the UA Map My Run app will give map views of your route and a deeper look at your workout with additional stats.
We are Under Armour. The future is ours!
Under Armour. We're passionate, delivering expert neurological care for adults and children. We're dedicated, responding to neurotrauma and stroke with LifeFlight in our Level 1 Trauma Center. We're persistent, restoring lives at our Tier Rehabilitation and Research Hospital. We are Memorial Hermann. And we're making neuroscience breakthroughs every day.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
And welcome back in to Sharp Gym here on the campus of Houston Baptist University. The Huskies fall on the home floor tonight. 86-82 is our final score as UTSA comes in. Both these teams came in looking for their second win in a row, coming in off of big wins. UTSA off over Florida Gulf Coast. The Huskies over Wake Forest, trying to extend it to a 2-game win streak, and it'll be UTSA that does. They raise their record to 2-5 on the season. The Huskies drop to 2-3. And as we look at some of the stats here, if you look up and down the stat sheet, there's not a whole lot that separate these two teams, except perhaps in a couple of critical areas. But shooting percentages are not one of those. UTSA winds up 29 of 62 for the evening, 47%. The Huskies 28 of 67 for 42%. So not a lot of difference there. 4 of 23, though, from the three-point line for the Huskies. That's just 17%. UTSA didn't shoot the ball well from the three, but compared to HBU, though, there was a little bit, when you lose by 4 and you've got 7 of 20 from the three-point line, that contributes to the difference.
Yeah, and they hit 2 big threes in the last minute and a half to 2 minutes that were really the difference in this contest. DeBose comes up and hits one, but they were a little too far behind at that point.
And that is one area the Huskies were outdone by UTSA. Also at the free throw line, the Huskies actually a little bit better, although both teams miss 11 free throws tonight. UTSA 21 of 32 for 66%. Huskies 22 of 33 for 67%. Compared to what we've seen early this season from the Huskies at the line, not a terrible free throw shooting night as a unit, but again, there were a few at critical times that you wish could have gone that might have made a little bit of a difference in this game.
Yeah, no question about that. And a couple of late free throws for the Huskies that didn't drop.
And then the big thing that stood out to me, you and I talked about this off mic before the break, or before the end of the break there, is Huskies forced 17 turnovers by UTSA tonight, but they were only able to convert those into 8 points off turnovers. Meanwhile, Huskies turned it over 14 times, and UTSA got 19 points off those turnovers. And it's one thing to get the turnovers, but you got to do something with them when you get them.
Yeah, I agree.
Points off the bench, the Huskies do wind up winning that battle tonight, 34-26, although it was a much wider margin through the first half of play. So we saw the bench for UTSA pick it up a little bit in the second half. Individually speaking, leading scorers tonight are Byron Fronin and Javon Jackson for UTSA, each with 21 points, followed closely by Keaton Wallace, who finishes up with 20 tonight. So they have 3 guys finish up with 20-plus points this evening. And they were joined by Nick Allen, who finished with 8, 7 from Atem Bior, and 5 from Idokie Iaye, 4 from Giovanni De Nicolau. Not a well-balanced attack by UTSA, but an effective one in the fact that they got those 3 guys, Fronin and Jackson and Wallace, really revved up, especially in the second half.
Yeah, they shot a lot better in the second half. I mean, they started out well, and UTSA shot the ball well, went into a lull, about 5 minutes left, all the way to halftime, but then they came back strong when they needed the big shots.
Huskies are led in scoring tonight by Ian DeBose. Ian almost winds up at his season average. He finishes with 15 points and 10 boards tonight, so a double-double for ID. He'll be joined in double figures by Ben Uloko, who had a nice game off the bench, 14 points, 3 boards. And Ed Hart finishes with 13 points and 5 rebounds in the ball game tonight. So those are the 3 Huskies in double figures, but a little bit more balanced attack for HBU. Jackson Stent and Jalen Gates both off the bench with 8 points apiece. 7 apiece from Phillip McKenzie and Oliver Lynch Daniels. 6 from Braxton Bonds and 4 from Stephen Osuji tonight. So the Huskies went 9 deep. We did not see Quan Murphy in this game tonight, but all 9 of the Huskies who got out there on the floor managed to get on the scoreboard tonight, but just fall a little bit short. We were tied at 42 at halftime, and it took a long-range 3 at the end of the first half to get UTSA back to that tie, but outscored by 4, 44-40 in the second half of play. So the Huskies, again, will drop to 2-3 on the young season, head out to Ruston, Louisiana to face off against a good Louisiana Tech squad. They're out to a good start early in their season, and we will see them Saturday afternoon. So the Huskies will have a few days to prep for that. But we're going to take one more break here, hopefully have Coach Ron Cockrell when we return as the Huskies postgame show rolls on the Husky Sports Network.
4 Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
Houston Federal Credit Union and Houston Baptist University have joined forces to put the howl back in your finances. HFCU offers several products and services such as auto loans, mortgages, and credit cards. And HFCU has a financial education program, Elevate, which is tailored to helping you increase your financial knowledge. Stop by any of our convenient locations or visit our website, www.houstonfcu.org, and experience the credit union difference today. Dogs up.
I'm Robin. And I'm Chris. We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs. Back when we were firemen, when it came to food, we said it better be something good and a lot of it. That's what you get at Firehouse Subs. Take our hook and ladder sub. Smoked turkey breast, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese, all steam heated and piled high on a toasted sub roll.
Our way beats their way. If you don't agree, it's free.
You're going to cover that, right?
My money's on the sub.
Love the confidence.
Firehouse Sub, founded by firemen.
International Brotherhood of Electric Workers, Local 716 in Houston, get up for work each day because we believe building schools to code matters. Because building Houston's hospitals correctly saves lives. Because training for 10,000 hours makes a difference. That's why we get up, because we want to make a difference. To be the best, hire the best.
IBEW, where skill and value lock arms. The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
You know, if that
fast you were going, son? Call me Ed. Do you know how fast you were going, Ed? You mean exactly? Yes, exactly. No, not exactly. How fast? Fast. Fast, sir? You were going very fast. Fast is my job, officer. Fast is your job? Yes, sir. What kind of job? I deliver, sir. What do you deliver? The world's greatest gourmet sandwiches. I thought Jimmy John's had the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches. Jimmy John's does have the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches. So you deliver for Jimmy John's? I deliver for Jimmy John's. So do you always deliver fast? I always deliver fast. How fast? I deliver subs so fast you'll freak. It's not smart to freak a cop, son. You didn't order a Jimmy John's sub, sir. So if I did order a Jimmy John's sub, when would I get it? Now. What if I don't want it now? Then call later. Or I can pick it up myself. Or you can pick it up yourself. Because I'm pretty fast, too. I'm sure you are, sir. Very fast. I believe you, sir. Faster than you. No way, sir. Way faster. In your dreams. You dissing me, son? No, sir. I'm polite. Fast and polite. Very polite and very, very fast. Is that a challenge, son? No, sir. It's a fact. Let's burn rubber, kid. You wouldn't be fair. Why not? You've got a fully blown V8 Camaro with slicks and headers. So I've got a 10-speed bike. I'll let you off with a warning.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known. And if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man, and the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
If Raising Cane's one love was rock music, they would rock harder than any rock band ever. Their tours would sell out before they were announced. Their backstage parties would be the stuff of legend, attended by unicorns and the head of Louis XIV. Hotel rooms would trash themselves out of respect. But Raising Cane's one love isn't rock music. It's making the perfect chicken finger meal every single time. Raising Cane's one love.
Astronauts, August 14th will be a day to remember. 10, 9,
August 14th? That's my anniversary. 6, I gotta go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Houston? Did anyone stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night?
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my group. So.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast and a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
Well, back here at Sharp Gym, we were hoping to get to chat with Ron Cockrell. We understand he's still in talking with the team post-game, and imagine they're having a little heart-to-heart, but Neil, it was an interesting game. The Huskies, though, couldn't build on that win on the road from Friday afternoon.
No, unfortunately, they weren't. They had a slow start. They were able to pick up the pace and had a nice lead, but it was all said and done. UTSA shot the ball a little bit better and took advantage of the turnover situation.
So we'll see you again Saturday afternoon from Ruston, Louisiana, 3:40 pregame show, 4 p.m. Central Start Time. We'll have all the play-by-play.
You've been listening to HBU Husky Sports on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
These broadcasts are brought to you by the corporate partners of HBU Athletics, Houston Federal Credit Union, Memorial Hermann Healthcare System, Marriott Houston West Chase, Raising Cane's, Under Armour, Firehouse Subs, Pepsi, Shipley Donuts, 4 Points by Sheraton, IBEW Local 716, Jimmy John Subs, Kolache Factory, and Holiday Inn Express. That's going to do it for now, but we thank you for being a part of this broadcast, and until we see you again down the road, so long, and dogs up.